Welcome, dear friend. Hello there, and welcome. My name is Thomas, and I'm so glad you're here with me tonight. Tonight, I want to share with you a gentle story called The Peaceful Kingdom, a tale inspired by the world of Overlord, but told in a way that helps your mind unwind and your body relax. Before we begin, I'm curious, what time is it where you are right now? Whether it's late evening, the middle of the night, or that quiet time before sleep finds you, you're in exactly the right place. This story is designed for you, for this moment of rest. So please, get comfortable, adjust your pillow, let your shoulders drop. Take a slow, easy breath in and out. Perfect. Now, let's begin our journey together. Chapter 1: The Final Moments. In a world that existed between dream and reality, there was a game. Not just any game, but a vast virtual world called Yggdrasil. For 12 beautiful years, this world had been home to millions of players. They built kingdoms, formed guilds, made friends, and created memories that felt more real than reality itself. But tonight, on this very special night, Yggdrasil was ending. The servers would shut down at midnight. Everyone knew this. Most players had already logged out, said their goodbyes, and moved on with their lives. But in one particular corner of this vast world, in a tomb that rose like a monument to dedication and friendship, someone remained. His name in this world was Momonga. He was a simple skeleton mage, an undead overlord who ruled over a place called the Great Tomb of Nazarick. But beyond the screen, beyond the character, he was just a person, someone tired from work. Someone who had found comfort in this virtual world, someone who wasn't quite ready to say goodbye. Momonga sat alone in his throne room. The great hall was silent except for the soft ambient sounds the game provided, a distant echo, a gentle magical hum, the kind of background noise that feels almost like a lullaby. He looked around slowly, taking in every detail. The throne room was magnificent, decorated in dark marble and gold trim. Banners hung from the high ceiling, and magical lights floated lazily through the air like fireflies on a summer night. Everything was still. Everything was peaceful. Just a few more minutes, he thought to himself. Just a few more minutes in this place I've called home. He opened his guild menu and scrolled through the member list. So many names, so many friends who had once been active, who had once filled these halls with laughter and planning and life. But now, next to each name, it showed the same thing. Last login days ago, or last login months ago, or even last login years ago. One by one, his friends had left. They had lives to return to, families, jobs, responsibilities. He understood, he really did. But understanding didn't make the loneliness any easier. His best friend, Touch Me, had logged out 3 years ago. They'd had one last conversation, a goodbye that tried to be hopeful but felt final. Momonga still remembered every word. "I'm sorry," Touch Me had said. "But my wife needs me. The baby is coming soon and I can't spend my nights here anymore. You understand, right?" "Of course," Momonga had replied, even though his heart, or whatever the equivalent was for a skeletal avatar, was breaking. "Go, be happy, live well." And Touch Me had promised to stay in contact, to meet up in real life someday, to never really say goodbye. But the messages became less frequent. Then they stopped altogether, and Momonga was left with nothing but memories stored in game chat logs. He closed his eyes. Well, his avatar's glowing eye sockets dimmed and let himself remember. He remembered the day they'd first conquered this tomb. It had been a raid dungeon originally, one of the hardest in the game. But his guild, Ain't a Wild Gown, had cleared it. And then, in an ambitious move, they'd claimed it as their guild base. They'd spent countless hours customizing it, turning it from a dungeon into a home. Each floor had been designed by different guild members. Each room told a story. Each NPC guardian they'd created had personality and purpose. The tomb wasn't just a building in a game, it was a masterpiece of collaborative creativity. Momonga stood up from his throne slowly. His bones made no sound, one of the odd details of being an undead character. He walked down the steps with measured, peaceful movements. There was no rush. Time moved differently here in these final minutes. He decided to walk through the tomb one last time, a final tour of the place he loved. He started on the first floor, the entrance hall. It was grand and intimidating, designed to make invaders feel small and afraid. But to Momonga, it just felt familiar. The stone walls, the flickering torches, the sense of vast space above him, it was all as comfortable as an old sweater. As he walked, his mind drifted to the philosophy behind Nazareth. Each of the guild members had agreed on one thing: this place represented them. Not just their gaming skills, but their values, their aesthetics, their dreams of what a perfect guild home would be. The second floor was a twisted forest, dark and mysterious. He walked through it slowly, listening to the ambient sounds, distant bird calls that weren't quite natural, wind that whispered through digital trees. The designer of this floor had loved horror games, and it showed. But even here, in this creepy forest, Momonga felt at peace. It was his creepiness. His guild's creation. He continued to the third floor, which was a massive underground lake. The water was so dark, it looked like liquid night. Small lights beneath the surface suggested something alive down there, the floor guardian, a creation of one of his guildmates. He stood at the water's edge and watched the lights drift lazily through the depths. Everything felt so real. The water looked wet. The air felt cool. The darkness felt comforting rather than threatening. It was amazing what the game designers had created. For 12 years, this world had been a refuge for so many people. Momonga thought about why he'd stayed until the very end. Part of it was nostalgia, certainly, but there was something more. In the real world, his life was empty. He worked a corporate job that drained him. He lived in a small apartment alone. He had no family nearby, no close friends in physical space. The real world was harsh, polluted, exhausting. But here he had been someone. Here he had friends. Here he had purpose. Even now, alone, he felt more at home in these virtual halls than he did in his real apartment. He checked the time. 15 minutes until midnight. 15 minutes until Yggdrasil ended forever. He continued his tour, moving up to the fourth floor. This one was an underground river with ancient ruins along its banks. The aesthetic was melancholic and beautiful, crumbling stone structures that suggested a once great civilization, now forgotten. Water flowed gently, the sound rhythmic and soothing. Momonga sat down on one of the stone blocks by the river and watched the water flow past. In the game, you didn't really need to rest, but the action of sitting, of pausing, felt right. He let his mind empty, just experiencing the moment. He thought about the NPCs, the non-player characters that populated Nazareth. His guild had spent enormous resources creating them, customizing their appearances, writing elaborate backstories, even programming complex personalities into their settings. They were works of art, really. His favorite was Albedo, the overseer of the Floor Guardians. She was beautiful and elegant, designed by one of his guildmates as the ultimate ideal of beauty and loyalty. Her creator had spent days getting every detail perfect: her dress, her hair, her wings, her expression. In her programming, she was absolutely loyal to the guild Einzwalgaun. Her settings described her as intelligent, capable, and devoted. Though she was just an NPC, just lines of code, Momonga had always felt a strange fondness for her. She represented his guild's creativity and ambition. On a whim, during one of his earlier nostalgic tours of the tomb, Momonga had changed one small detail in Albedo's settings. Originally, her description said she loved all members of Einzwalgaun equally, but feeling a bit lonely and sentimental, he'd changed it to say she was in love with Momonga specifically. It was a silly change, meaningless really, since she was just an NPC and the game was ending anyway. But it had made him smile at the time. A small, personal touch in these final days. He stood up from the stone ruins and continued his journey. Floor 5 was a frozen glacier landscape, beautiful and stark. The ice reflected light in dazzling patterns, and the cold feeling, simulated but effective, made everything feel crisp and clear. He walked across the ice slowly, carefully, though his character couldn't actually slip. The game designers had made this area challenging for invaders, but peaceful to simply explore. Above him, an artificial sky showed aurora lights dancing in greens and blues. It was breathtaking. Momonga stopped in the center of the frozen floor and looked up at the auroras. He stood there for a long moment, just breathing, just being. The lights shifted and flowed like silk in wind. Time seemed to slow down even further. 10 minutes until midnight. He pressed on to the 6th floor, which was a jungle, hot, humid, lush with vegetation. The contrast from the frozen 5th floor was dramatic and intentional. His guild had loved creating these contrasts, these buried experiences. The jungle was full of sounds, insect chirps, bird calls, rustling leaves. It created a cocoon of noise that was oddly peaceful. In the real world, Momonga had never been to a real jungle. He'd probably never have the chance to. But here, he could experience something close. He could walk under massive trees, see exotic flowers, feel the virtual humidity on his virtual bones. The 7th floor was a river of lava, burning and fierce. But even here, walking on the safe path designed for guild members, Momonga felt calm. The heat was intense but not uncomfortable. The light from the lava painted everything in orange and red, creating a sunset that never ended. He stood on a bridge of stone that crossed the lava river and looked down. The molten rock moved in slow, mesmerizing patterns. He could watch it forever, hypnotized by the movement. But time was running short. He moved quickly through the 8th floor, a wilderness area with rolling hills and strange creatures designed to test invaders. Then the 9th floor, which was a royal palace of ice and crystal, stunningly beautiful and cold. Every surface reflected light like a prism, creating rainbows in the air. And finally, he arrived back at the 10th floor. The throne room, the center of everything. Home. He sat back down on his throne and pulled up the game menu one more time. 5 minutes until midnight. 5 minutes until everything ended. Momonga looked around at the NPCs standing in formation around the throne room. There was Albedo in her beautiful black dress. There were the Pleiades battle maids, each with distinct personalities and appearances. There was Sebastian, the dignified butler. There was Demiurge, the demon guardian who looked sophisticated and dangerous. And others, each a masterpiece of character design. They all stood perfectly still, as NPCs did. They were just decorations, really. Beautiful, elaborate decorations with no true consciousness. But Momonga had spent so much time with them, reading their backstories, appreciating their designs, that he felt affection for them anyway. "Thank you," he said out loud, even though they couldn't hear him, couldn't respond. Thank you for being part of this place. Thank you for representing everything my friends created. You've made this tomb feel alive. He leaned back in his throne and closed his eye sockets again. He thought about what would happen after midnight. Would everything just stop? Would the screen go black? Would there be a message thanking players for their time? He didn't know. And in a way, he didn't want to know. The anticipation of this final moment was almost sacred. 3 minutes. He thought about his guildmates again, each of them. Touch Me, the paladin who believed in justice. Punito Mo, the clever strategist. Buku Buku Chigama, the cheerful one who always lightened the mood. Tabula Smaragdina, the creator who designed the most elaborate NPCs. Ulbert Alain Odely, who loved dark humor and edge. And so many others. They'd all moved on. They were probably asleep right now in their real beds, not even thinking about Yggdrasil. They had families, lives, futures that didn't include this virtual world. And that was okay. That was how it should be. Games end. People grow. Life moves forward. But Momonga was grateful. Grateful for every hour spent here. Grateful for every raid completed, every laugh shared, every inside joke developed. Those memories were real, even if the world that housed them was not. 2 minutes. He opened his eyes and looked at Albedo one more time. She stood there perfectly, her expression serene and beautiful, her wings folded elegantly behind her. He smiled, or would have if his skeletal face could smile. If you were real, he said softly, I wonder what you'd think of all this. Would you be sad the game is ending, or would you not care since you're just code? Of course, she didn't respond. She just stood there, frozen, perfect, eternal in her static existence. 1 minute. Momonga straightened in his throne and placed his hands on the armrests. His heart was beating fast. Well, his real heart in his real body, wherever that was outside the game. His avatar didn't have a heartbeat. He watched the clock in his interface tick down. 50 seconds, 40 seconds, 30 seconds. He took a deep breath. 20 seconds. Goodbye, Yggdrasil, he whispered. Thank you for everything. Thank you for 12 years of adventure. Thank you for friendship. Thank you for purpose. Thank you for home. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, midnight, and then nothing happened. Chapter 2. The Impossible Morning. Momonga sat very still in his throne, confused. The clock had struck midnight. The servers should have shut down. He should have been kicked from the game, back to reality, staring at a black screen or a thank you message. But he was still here. He could still see the throne room. He could still see the NPCs. Everything was exactly as it had been. He checked his interface. The clock now read 12,001 AM. The game should have ended 60 seconds ago. Maybe there's a delay, he thought. Maybe the shutdown is taking longer than expected. He waited. 1 minute became 2. 2 became 5. 5 became 10. Still nothing changed. He was still in the throne room, still sitting on his throne, still in Yggdrasil. Or was he? Slowly, Momonga began to notice something odd. The atmosphere felt different. Before, the throne room had that slight artificial quality all games have, beautiful but recognizably digital. But now, everything looked more real. The shadows were deeper. The light from the magical torches flickered with more complexity. The air itself seemed to have texture. He stood up from his throne, and that's when he noticed the second strange thing. He hadn't clicked a button to stand. He hadn't selected an action from a menu. He had simply decided to stand, and his body had responded. His avatar had moved on its own naturally, without interface commands. "What's going on?" he said out loud, and then he realized something shocking. He had spoken, not typed words that appeared in a chat box, not triggered a voice emote. He had opened his mouth, his skeletal mouth, and words had come out, carried by actual sound that echoed in the actual space around him. He touched his face with his hand. He felt the smooth bone of his skull. He felt the texture, the temperature, the solid reality of it. "This is impossible," he said, and again he heard his voice echo in the throne room, rich and deep and completely real. Fear started to creep in, but then something strange happened. The fear vanished. Not gradually, but instantly. As if it had been deleted from his mind, a calm feeling replaced it, cool and neutral. He noticed the pattern immediately. His emotional state had been forcibly altered. Whatever was happening, whatever this situation was, something about being in this skeletal body was affecting his emotions. He could still think clearly, but intense feelings seemed to be automatically suppressed. This was both comforting and disturbing. Comforting because it kept him from panicking. Disturbing because it meant he wasn't entirely in control of his own mind. He looked around the throne room again, seeing it with new eyes. Everything was real. Not game real. Actually real. He could see individual dust particles floating through beams of light. He could smell something, stone and metal and old magic. He could hear the sound of his own breathing, even though skeletons shouldn't need to breathe. And then he looked at the NPCs. They were still standing in their positions, frozen as they had been. But they looked different too. More detailed. More present. Before, they had been impressively designed game characters. Now, they looked like actual beings. He walked closer to Albedo, studying her carefully. Every strand of her hair was visible and distinct. Her dress had real fabric texture. Her skin looked soft. Her wings had individual feathers. The level of detail was far beyond what any game could render. "Hello?" he said tentatively, standing in front of her. She didn't respond, didn't move. Her eyes stared ahead at nothing, beautiful but empty. "Can you hear me?" he asked. Still nothing. He reached out slowly and carefully touched her shoulder. It was solid, real, warm even, but she remained motionless like a statue. A feeling tried to rise in him, worry, confusion, fear, but again it was smoothed away by whatever force was regulating his emotions. He remained calm, able to think clearly. "Okay," he said to himself, his voice steady. "Let's assess the situation logically. The game was supposed to end at midnight. It didn't. Instead, I'm now apparently inside my avatar, in what feels like a real body in a real place. The NPCs appear real but aren't responsive. I need information." He walked back to his throne and tried to open the game menu. He made the gesture he'd made thousands of times before, the mental command that brought up the interface. It worked. Sort of. A menu appeared, but it was different. Simpler. Many options were missing. There was no logout button. There was no option to contact support. There was no way to exit the game. But there was still some functions. He could check his inventory. He could see his stats. He could use spells and abilities. The practical gameplay elements remained, but all the meta-game options, the things that reminded you this was a game, were gone. He tried to stay calm, letting the emotional suppression help him. He needed to think, not panic. "Let's test something," he said. He opened his spell list and selected a simple one, a low-level fire spell that created a small flame. In the game, you'd select it and target it, and an animation would play. But now, he simply thought about casting the spell, and felt something move through him, through his bones, through whatever magical energy animated this skeletal body. He held out his hand, and flame appeared above his palm. Real flame. He could feel the heat. He could see the light it cast. He could hear the soft sound of burning. He dismissed the spell with a thought, and the flame vanished. "Magic is real here," he said softly. "Whatever here is." He sat back down on his throne, forcing himself to think systematically. There were several possibilities for what had happened. 1. He was still in the game, but something had glitched or changed, making it feel hyper-realistic. Maybe some kind of experimental VR system had activated. 2. He was dreaming. Maybe he'd fallen asleep at his computer, and his mind was creating this elaborate scenario. 3. He had somehow been transported into the game world, which was now a real place. This seemed like fantasy, impossible, but then again, his current situation was already impossible. 4. He was dead or dying in the real world, and this was some kind of afterlife or near-death hallucination. None of these options were comforting, but the emotional suppression kept him from spiraling into panic. Instead, he felt a strange sense of detached curiosity. "If I'm stuck here," he reasoned, "then I need to understand the situation better. I need to explore and gather information." He stood up again and walked toward the NPCs. If this world was now real, if he was truly here and not in a game anymore, then perhaps the NPCs might be affected too. He stopped in front of Sebastian, the butler. In the game, Sebas was an NPC with the highest physical combat stats in Nazarick, designed to look like a gentleman but fight like a monster. His backstory, written by his creator, described him as honorable and loyal. "Sebas," Momonga said clearly. "Can you hear me?" The butler's eyes flickered, just slightly but unmistakably. Then, slowly, he turned his head to look directly at Momonga, and then he bowed. "Yes, Lord Momonga," Sebas said, his voice deep and respectful. "I hear you. How may I serve?" Momonga's jaw would have dropped if it weren't made of bone. The NPC had responded, had moved independently, had spoken with apparently genuine awareness. "You can hear me?" Momonga asked, his mind racing. "Of course, my lord," Sebas replied, straightening from his bow, but keeping his eyes downcast respectfully. "I exist to serve the supreme beings of Nazarick. Please, give me your orders." Supreme beings. That was the term the NPCs used for guild members according to their programmed backstories. But the way Sebas said it, there was emotion there, reverence, reality. Momonga looked around at the other NPCs. They were beginning to stir as well, as if waking from sleep. Eyes blinked, heads turned. Small movements suggested emerging awareness. And then Albedo stepped forward from her position, moving with grace and purpose. She approached Momonga's throne, then knelt before him, her dress pooling around her perfectly, her wings folded elegantly. "Lord Momonga," she said, and her voice was beautiful, melodic, full of warmth. "Forgive my stillness. I am ready now to serve you with everything I am." She looked up at him, and her eyes were alive, genuinely, unmistakably alive. There was intelligence there, personality, emotion. And then she smiled at him, and the smile was radiant, filled with something that looked very much like love. Momonga remembered the change he'd made to her settings, the change where he'd edited her description to say she was in love with Momonga specifically instead of devoted to all guild members equally. It had been a joke. A moment of loneliness turned into a harmless edit of a game character's profile. But now, if the NPCs were real, if they were truly conscious beings with the personalities and emotions described in their settings, then Albedo was genuinely, truly in love with him. The emotional suppression kept him from fully processing the implications of this, but even through the calm, he felt a strange stirring. Responsibility, connection, wonder. "Rise, Albedo," he said, his voice automatically taking on a tone of authority, "and all of you, be at ease." Albedo stood gracefully, her eyes never leaving him. Around the throne room, the other NPCs relaxed slightly, though they maintained perfect posture and alertness. "My lord," Albedo said softly, "the supreme beings have finally returned. We have waited so long for this moment." "Supreme beings?" Momonga asked carefully. "You mean the guild members?" "Yes, my lord," Albedo said, confusion flickering across her face. "The 41 supreme beings who created the great tomb of Nazarick and gave life to all who dwell here. Though," she paused, looking around the throne room, "I sense only you are present, Lord Momonga. Where are the others? Where is Lord Touchme, Lady Buku Buku Chagama, Lord Albert?" The question hit Momonga strangely. These NPCs believed his guildmates were godlike creator beings. In their programmed reality, they worshipped the guild members, and now they were conscious, aware, expecting. "They're not here," Momonga said slowly. "It's just me." A ripple of concern passed through the NPCs. They looked at each other, uncertainty showing on their faces. "But surely they will arrive soon?" Albedo asked, hope in her voice. "The supreme beings would not abandon Nazarick. They would not leave us without guidance." Momonga felt something trying to form, sadness perhaps, or guilt, but it was smoothed away by his emotional dampening. Still, he understood the situation. These beings, now apparently conscious and real, expected their creators to be present. But his guildmates weren't here. They'd logged out long ago. They'd moved on with their lives. It was just him, alone, responsible for all of these NPCs who now looked at him with expectation and devotion. "I don't know when the others will return," he said carefully, choosing his words. "For now, I am here, and I will ensure Nazarick remains strong and protected." This seemed to comfort them. They bowed as one, a gesture of acceptance and loyalty. "We live to serve you, Lord Momonga," Albedo said. "Whatever you need, whatever you command, we will accomplish without fail." Momonga looked at them all. These beautiful, complex beings who had once been lines of code and were now apparently living creatures. He felt the weight of responsibility settling onto his shoulders. If this was real, if this was truly happening, then he had an entire tomb full of loyal servants who depended on him. And beyond the tomb, what existed out there in this world? Was it still Yggdrasil? Was it something else? He had so many questions and so few answers. But one thing was clear, running away wouldn't solve anything. Panicking wouldn't help. He needed to act like the Overlord everyone believed he was. "Albedo," he said, his voice steady and authoritative. "I need a full report on the status of Nazarick. I need to know if everything is functioning properly." "At once, my lord," Albedo said, bowing. "I will inspect each floor and report back to you immediately." "Sebas," Momonga continued, "I want you to stand by in case I need you." "Yes, my lord," Sebas replied. Momonga then addressed the other NPCs present, the Pleiades battlemaids, the area guardians who had been summoned to the throne room. All of you, return to your stations and ensure your designated areas are secure. Report any anomalies immediately." They all bowed and began to disperse, moving with purpose and efficiency. Within moments, only Albedo remained in the throne room with him. She stood at the base of his throne, looking up at him with absolute devotion. The magical lights floated slowly through the air, creating gentle patterns of illumination that moved like clouds drifting across a lazy sky. He took a moment to simply breathe. Even though he didn't need to breathe as a skeleton, the action felt grounding. In and out, slow and steady. The rhythm helped him think. "My lord," Albedo said softly, her voice like silk. "May I speak?" "Of course," Momonga replied. "I am overjoyed that you are here," she said, and there was genuine emotion in her voice. "For so long, we existed in waiting, in stillness. It was as if we were asleep, dreaming of the day the supreme beings would return. And now you have awakened us. You have given us purpose again." Momonga listened carefully. So the NPCs had some kind of dormant existence before this moment. They remembered being created, remembered the guild members, but their consciousness had been inactive until now. "I'm glad to be here," he said, and realized he meant it. Despite the confusion and impossibility of the situation, there was something comforting about being in Nazarick, surrounded by these loyal beings. It felt more like home than his real apartment ever had. "Albedo," he said thoughtfully, "I need you to help me understand something. Do you remember anything unusual happening? Anything that might explain this situation?" She tilted her head slightly, thinking. "My lord, from my perspective, we have always been here, waiting for your return. But I sense that something fundamental has changed. The air feels different. The world feels more real somehow, as if we have crossed from dream into waking." That matched his own experience. The transition from game to reality, if that's what this was. "Tell me about the world beyond Nazarick," Momonga said. "What do you know about it?" "The knowledge I have comes from the supreme beings who created me," Albedo explained. "Nazarick exists in a location called the Great Tomb of Nazarick, which was once a dungeon in the world of Yggdrasil. Beyond our borders, there are other lands, other guilds, other players. Or at least, that was the world as the supreme beings described it to us." "And if that world has changed?" Momonga asked. "If we're no longer in Yggdrasil as it was?" Albedo's expression became serious. "Then we must discover what the new world holds, my lord. We must ensure Nazarick's safety and determine if there are threats beyond our walls." Momonga nodded slowly. She was right. He couldn't stay in the throne room forever, comfortable as it was. He needed information about what existed outside the tomb. But first, he needed to understand his own capabilities better. If he was truly in his game, Avatar's body, then he should have all the powers and abilities his character had accumulated over years of gameplay. And in Yggdrasil, his character had been extremely powerful. "Albedo, I'm going to test something," he said. "Please observe and tell me if anything seems unusual." "Of course, my lord." Momonga opened his mental interface. It appeared as a translucent window only he could see, and reviewed his spell list. Hundreds of spells were available to him. As one of the highest level magic casters in the game, he had access to devastating offensive magic, powerful defensive barriers, utility spells, summoning abilities, and more. He selected a simple summoning spell. In the game, this would create a low-level undead servant. Now, he wondered what would happen He raised his hand and cast the spell, feeling magical energy flow through his bones, down his arm, and out into the world. The air shimmered, and darkness coalesced into form. A skeleton warrior appeared before him, armor clattering into existence, sword materializing in its bony hand. But this wasn't a simple game animation. This was a real creature standing before him. It turned its skull toward him and knelt. "Master," it said in a hollow voice, "I await your command." Momonga stared at it in fascination, a being he had created from magic. A real, tangible creature that existed because he had willed it into existence. "Stand guard by the door," he commanded. The skeleton warrior rose and marched to the throne room entrance, taking up a position there with perfect military precision. "Remarkable, my lord," Albedo said, admiration clear in her voice. "Your power flows as naturally as breathing. Truly, you are a supreme being." Momonga felt uncomfortable with that title, but he didn't correct her. Instead, he dismissed the skeleton warrior with a thought, and it dissolved back into magical energy, fading away peacefully. He spent the next while testing other abilities. He cast protective barriers that shimmered in the air like soap bubbles. He created illusions that looked perfectly real. He teleported from one side of the throne room to the other in an instant, space itself bending to his will. Every spell worked. Every ability functioned. He was, essentially, a walking arsenal of magical power. In the game, this had been exciting but abstract. Now, feeling the actual power coursing through him, understanding that these abilities could affect a real world, it was sobering. "I need to be careful," he thought. "With this much power, I could easily hurt people. I need to think before I act." The emotional suppression helped him stay calm about this realization, but he made a mental note of it. Power required responsibility. After some time, he wasn't sure how long, Albedo received a mental message. In this world, communication between Nazarik's denizens worked through a magical connection, like telepathy. "My lord," she said, "the floor guardians have completed their initial inspections. They report that all areas of Nazarik are functioning normally. There are no breaches, no intruders, no damage. The tomb is secure." "Good," Momonga said. "And the area outside Nazarik? Have we sent anyone to scout?" "Not yet, my lord. We wanted your permission before sending anyone beyond our borders." Momonga considered this. Sending someone out was risky. They didn't know what was out there, but staying isolated was also risky. They needed information. "Send a small scouting party," he said, "but tell them to be cautious, observe only. Don't engage with anyone unless absolutely necessary. I want to know what's beyond our walls." "At once, my lord," Albedo said, bowing. She closed her eyes briefly, sending mental messages to coordinate the scouting mission. While she did this, Momonga stood and walked to one of the large windows in the throne room. It overlooked the lands around Nazarik. In the game, this had been a fixed background image, pretty but static. Now, when he looked out, he saw an actual landscape. Rolling plains of grass stretched into the distance, illuminated by moonlight. A forest was visible in one direction. Hills rose in another, and far above, stars twinkled in a vast sky that seemed to go on forever. It was beautiful, peaceful. The world slept under the gentle watch of the moon. Momonga felt something stirring in him, wonder perhaps, or a sense of possibility. This was a real world. If he was truly here, if this was his new reality, then it was a world of endless opportunity. but also endless danger. But beyond the beauty, there was intelligence in her eyes, and loyalty, and something else. That programmed love that had become real. He felt he should address it, but didn't know how. The situation was so strange. She was an NPC who had become conscious. Her feelings for him were originally just settings in a character profile. But now those feelings were real emotions experienced by a real person. It was complicated, and he was too tired, too overwhelmed by everything else to deal with complicated right now. "Albedo," he said instead, "tell me honestly, how do you feel? Are you okay with all of this?" She looked surprised by the question. "My lord, you've become aware, conscious. You have thoughts and feelings now. Is that difficult for you?" She considered this, her expression thoughtful. "My lord, I feel complete, as if I have been waiting my entire existence for this moment. To serve you, to speak with you, to be truly alive in your presence. It is everything I could want." The way she looked at him when she said this made Momonga uncomfortable again. That devotion, that love, it was genuine now, and he didn't know if he deserved it. "I want you to know," he said carefully, "that I value you, not just as a guardian of Nazarick, but as a person. Your thoughts and feelings matter to me." Albedo's eyes widened slightly, and then she smiled, a soft, genuine smile that transformed her face from merely beautiful to radiant. "Thank you, my lord. Those words mean more to me than you could possibly know." They stood together at the window, looking out at the peaceful landscape, and for a moment, everything felt calm, quiet, right. The scouts returned within the hour, as promised. Momonga had them report directly to the throne room. There were two of the Pleiades battle maids, Lupus Regina Beta and Nabral Gamma, along with a group of undead soldiers. They knelt before his throne. "Lord Momonga," Lupus Regina said, her voice respectful, "we have completed our initial reconnaissance." "Report," Momonga commanded. "The area immediately surrounding Nazarick is unpopulated wilderness," Narbral explained. "Grasslands, forest, and hills. We detected no signs of other players, no guild bases, no cities or towns within several miles. However," she paused, glancing at Lupus Regina. "However?" Momonga prompted. "We found a village, my lord," Lupus Regina said. "About 3 miles to the east. A small human settlement, perhaps 100 residents. They appear to be simple farmers. Low level, no threat to us whatsoever. Humans. A village." This was significant information. "Did they see you?" Momonga asked. "No, my lord," Narbral said. "We remained hidden and observed from a distance. They appeared to be sleeping." "It is night after all. Good work," Momonga said. "You're dismissed. Get some rest." They bowed and departed, leaving Momonga alone with Albedo again. "A human village," Albedo said thoughtfully. "This is curious, my lord. If we are no longer in Yggdrasil, then perhaps this is an entirely different world, a world with its own inhabitants." Momonga nodded. This changed things. If there were native inhabitants, people who had nothing to do with the game, then his actions would affect real lives, real people with families, hopes, fears, dreams. The weight of responsibility grew heavier. "We need more information," he said, "but we must be careful. I don't want to harm anyone unnecessarily." "As you command, my lord," Albedo said. "Though I must ask, should we be concerned about these humans? Should we consider them potential threats?" "Everyone is a potential threat until proven otherwise," Momonga said. "But we shouldn't assume hostility. For now, we observe and learn, no aggression unless we're attacked first." Very wise, my lord, Albedo said, though Momonga detected a slight note of disappointment in her voice. The NPCs of Nazarick had been designed with certain personalities, and many of them were loyal to the tomb but indifferent or hostile to outsiders. Albedo herself had settings that made her protective of Nazarick above all else. This was something Momonga would need to navigate carefully. The NPCs were loyal to him, but they also had their own personalities and inclinations. He would need to guide them, ensure they didn't act rashly. It's late, Momonga said, even though he wasn't sure if time worked the same way here. Or early, rather. Dawn will come eventually. For now, I want everyone to rest and remain vigilant. Tomorrow or later today, we'll make plans for further exploration. Yes, my lord, Albedo said. And you? Will you rest as well? Momonga considered this. Did his undead body need sleep? He didn't feel physically tired, but mentally, emotionally, he felt exhausted. So much had happened, so much to process. I'll meditate here for a while, he said. Think through everything that's happened. Then I will remain with you, Albedo said immediately, to keep you company and ensure your safety. Momonga almost told her it wasn't necessary, but then he realized he actually wanted her there. Her presence was comforting. She was the first real person he'd talked to in. He couldn't even remember how long. In the real world, he lived alone, worked alone, ate alone. Here, he had someone who wanted to be with him. Thank you, Albedo, he said. I'd appreciate that. She smiled again, that radiant expression, and took a seat on the steps below his throne. She sat gracefully, her dress arranged perfectly, her wings folded comfortably, She looked peaceful and content. Momonga leaned back in his throne and let his mind drift. The throne room was quiet except for the soft ambient sounds, the gentle hum of magical energy, the distant echo that gave the space its cathedral-like quality, the almost imperceptible sound of Albedo's breathing. He thought about his old life. His real life, if it still existed somewhere. The corporate job that drained his soul, the small apartment that never felt like home, the loneliness that had become so normal he barely noticed it anymore. And then he thought about this new life, this impossible situation. Being trapped in a game world or a new world in the body of his avatar, surrounded by loyal servants who treated him like a god. It should have been terrifying. It should have made him desperate to find a way back. But instead, he felt relieved. Even through the emotional suppression, he recognized the feeling. This place, strange as it was, felt more like home than the real world ever had. Is that wrong? He wondered. Should I be trying harder to get back? But he didn't know how to get back. He didn't even know if getting back was possible. And forcing himself to panic about it wouldn't help anything. So instead, he made a decision. He would treat this as his new reality. He would take care of Nazarick and everyone in it. He would explore this world carefully and respectfully. He would try to be a good leader even if he didn't feel qualified. And maybe, just maybe, he would find purpose here. Something his old life had never given him. My lord, Albedo said softly, breaking the comfortable silence. May I ask you something personal? Of course. When the supreme beings created us, they gave us knowledge of the world and of their nature as great beings from beyond. But I know so little about you personally, Lord Momonga. What do you enjoy? What brings you happiness? How can I best serve you? The question touched him. She genuinely wanted to know him, to understand him, to make him happy. I enjoy peace, he said slowly. Quiet moments like this. I enjoy learning new things, solving problems, understanding how things work. I enjoy companionship, having someone to talk to. Then I will ensure you have these things, Albedo said earnestly. I will create peaceful spaces for you. I will create peaceful spaces for you. I will bring you interesting puzzles and mysteries to solve, and I will always be here to talk with you whenever you desire. Thank you, Albedo. That means a lot to me. They fell into silence again, but it was warm, comfortable. Momonga found his mind settling, the racing thoughts slowing down. Time passed. How much? He wasn't sure. But gradually, the magical lights in the throne room began to shift, becoming slightly warmer in tone. Dawn was approaching, somewhere outside. "My lord," Albedo said, standing gracefully, "the sun will rise soon. Would you like to see it from the surface?" Momonga considered this. He'd been inside Nazarick since arriving in this world. Seeing the sunrise, experiencing the world beyond the tomb's walls, felt like the right next step. "Yes," he said, standing from his throne. "Let's go." Chapter 4: The First Dawn. They made their way through the tomb, up through the floors toward the surface entrance. As they walked, Momonga noticed the NPCs they passed. Each one stopped what they were doing, bowed deeply, and greeted him with respect and devotion. It felt surreal. In the game, NPCs had been decorations, markers of achievement, fancy furniture. Now they were people, each with their own thoughts and feelings, each looking at him as their lord and creator. The responsibility weighed on him, but he accepted it. He would do his best for them. They reached the surface entrance, and Momonga paused before stepping outside. This would be his first real look at the world beyond Nazarick, his first time experiencing this new reality outside the protected walls of the tomb. "Ready, my lord?" Albedo asked, standing beside him. "Ready," he said. They stepped outside together. The world spread before them, vast and open. The grasslands rolled away in gentle hills, silvered by the last light of the moon. The forest in the distance was dark, but not threatening. And above, the sky was beginning to lighten, deep blue fading toward the horizon. The air was cool and fresh. A gentle breeze moved the grass in waves. Somewhere distant, a bird called out, greeting the coming dawn. Momonga took a slow breath, taking it all in. It was beautiful, more beautiful than any graphics engine could render. Real beauty, natural beauty, the kind that touched something deep in the soul. They stood on a hill overlooking the landscape, and together they watched as the sun began to rise. First, just a glow on the horizon, then a sliver of golden light, then a growing arc of brilliance. The world transformed in the sunlight. Colors emerged, the green of grass, the brown of distant fields, the blue of the sky. Shadows shortened and shifted. Birds began singing their morning songs. "It's beautiful," Momonga said softly. "Yes," Albedo agreed. "And it is yours, my lord. This world, whatever it may be, is here for you to explore, to shape, to rule if you so choose." Momonga wasn't sure about the ruling part, but the exploring part, yes. He wanted to see this world. He wanted to understand it. He wanted to find his place in it. As they stood watching the sunrise, Momonga made another decision. He would change his name. Momonga was his character name, his player name from a game that might not exist anymore. If he was going to truly live in this world, he wanted a name that meant something. "Albedo," he said, "from now on, I want you and everyone in Nazarick to call me by a different name." She looked at him curiously. "My lord? Call me Eins, he said. Eins Wohlgaun, the name of our guild, the name that represents all the friends who created Nazarick. I will carry that name forward in honor of them. Albedo's eyes shimmered with emotion. Eins Wohlgaun, she repeated reverently. It is a beautiful name, my lord, and it suits you perfectly. The name of our creators, carried by the supreme being who remains with us. Then it's decided, Eins said. I am Eins Wohlgaun, overlord of the great tomb of Nazarick. The sun continued rising, and the world grew brighter. Somewhere in the distance, in that village the scouts had found, people were probably waking up, starting their day, living their lives without any idea that an ancient tomb full of powerful beings existed nearby. Eins thought about those people. Simple farmers, according to the report, just trying to survive, trying to live peacefully. I won't harm them, he thought. I'll protect Nazarick, but I won't become a monster. I'll find a way to coexist. My lord, Lord Eins, Albedo corrected herself. What are your plans for today? Eins thought about this. We need more information about this world. I want to send scouts further out, map the area, find any nearby cities or kingdoms, and I want to establish communication with that village, eventually, carefully, peacefully. We need allies, not enemies. Very wise, Albedo said. I will coordinate the scouting parties immediately. But first, Eins said, I want to simply walk. Explore the area around Nazarick. Get a feel for this land with my own senses. Then I will accompany you, Albedo said without hesitation. They set off together, walking through the grasslands around the tomb. The morning was peaceful, the air fresh and clean. Insects buzzed in the grass. Small animals scattered at their approach. Rabbits, mice, creatures that seemed familiar yet somehow different from what Eins remembered from his world. They walked without speaking much, simply experiencing the world. Eins ran his skeletal hand through tall grass, feeling the texture. He knelt by a stream and watched clear water flow over smooth stones. He looked up at clouds drifting lazily across the blue sky. Everything was real. Everything was here, and he was part of it now. After walking for perhaps an hour, they reached a small hill that provided a good vantage point. From here, Eins could see the great tomb in the distance, imposing and majestic. And in another direction, he could see smoke rising, probably from the village where people were cooking breakfast. A new world, he said softly. A new life, a new purpose. And we will build something great here, Albedo said confidently. Under your leadership, Lord Eins, Nazarick will thrive. We will create a kingdom worthy of your vision. Eins wasn't sure about creating a kingdom, but creating a home, a safe place for those who depended on him, that he could do. One step at a time, he said. First we learn, then we plan, then we act. As you command, Albedo said. They stood together on the hill, the breeze moving around them, the sun warm on their faces. Well, on Albedo's face, Eins didn't have a face to warm, and the world spread before them in all directions. A new beginning, a new chance, a new life in a new world. And despite all the strangeness, all the impossible circumstances, Eins felt something he hadn't felt in years. He felt hope. Chapter 5. The Peaceful Path. They returned to Nazarick before midday, and Eins immediately set to work organizing his new responsibilities. He called a meeting of the Floor Guardians, the most powerful NPCs in the tomb, each one designed to protect a specific floor and serve as Nazarick's military leadership. They gathered in the throne room, Albedo as overseer, Shaltir Bloodfallen the vampire, Cursitis the warrior insect, Demiurge the demon, Aura and Mare the dark elf twins, and Sebastian representing the Pleiades battle maids. Each one knelt before his throne, showing absolute loyalty and reverence. Ainz looked at them, these incredible beings created by his friends, and felt that familiar weight of responsibility. They were looking to him for leadership, for guidance, for purpose. "Thank you all for gathering," he said, his voice automatically taking on that tone of authority. "We find ourselves in unusual circumstances. This is clearly not the Yggdrasil we knew. We are in a new world, and we must understand it before we can thrive in it." They listened intently, hanging on his every word. "My primary directive is this: we will protect Nazareth and everyone within it, but we will not be aggressors. We will not attack innocent people. We will gather information, establish our position carefully, and only use force when necessary for defense." He saw some confusion on certain faces, particularly Demiurge and Shaltir, whose personalities made them more inclined toward dominance and conquest, but none of them objected. His word was law to them. "I'm assigning tasks to each of you," Ainz continued. "Aura and Mare, I want you to expand our scouting range. Map the area for at least 20 miles in all directions. Note any settlements, any dangerous creatures, any resources we might need." The twins nodded eagerly. "Yes, Lord Ainz. Cursitis, strengthen our defenses. I want all entrances to Nazareth properly guarded and monitored. If anyone approaches, I want to know immediately, but don't attack unless they prove hostile." "Understood, Lord Ainz," Cursitis replied in his deep, clicking voice. "Demiurge, I need you to develop strategies for different scenarios. What do we do if a hostile force attacks? What do we do if someone wants to negotiate? How do we establish diplomatic relations if needed? Think through the possibilities." "It will be done, Lord Ainz," Demiurge said, bowing lower. "Your wisdom in planning ahead is exemplary." Ainz continued assigning tasks to each guardian, creating a framework for how Nazareth would operate in this new world. The meeting lasted several hours, but eventually everything was organized. As the guardians dispersed to their duties, Ainz felt a sense of accomplishment. He was doing this, leading, managing, creating order from chaos. Maybe he was better at this than he thought. The days that followed fell into a peaceful routine. Ainz spent his mornings reviewing reports from the scouts. The area around Nazareth was relatively safe, some low-level monsters in the forests, but nothing that posed a threat to the tomb. The nearby village remained peaceful, unaware of their presence. He spent his afternoons exploring, sometimes alone, sometimes with Albedo or other guardians. He walked through the grasslands, studied the local flora and fauna, practiced controlling his magical abilities. He found a clearing where flowers grew in abundance, and the sight of their simple beauty brought him peace. In the evenings, he would sit in the throne room or in a more comfortable study he'd set up, reading. The tomb had an extensive library. His guildmates had collected in-game books and documents, which had apparently become real texts here. He read about the old Yggdrasil, about magic systems, about anything that might help him understand this world. And at night, he would stand at the windows overlooking the landscape, watching the stars, thinking about everything that had happened and everything that might come. Albedo was with him often during these times. She seemed to enjoy his company, and he found hers comforting. They would talk about philosophy, about leadership, about the beauty of the world. Sometimes they would just sit in comfortable silence. Chapter 6. The Garden of Peace. On afternoon, about a week after arriving in this new world, Ainz discovered something unexpected. While walking through the 6th floor of Nazarick, the jungle floor, he found a small garden area he'd forgotten existed. It was a peaceful space, designed by one of his guildmates as a place to relax between battles. The garden was beautiful. Exotic flowers bloomed in vibrant colors: reds, purples, yellows, blues. A small pond reflected the artificial sky above. Stone benches sat beneath flowering trees. The air was warm but not uncomfortable, and the sounds of the jungle faded to a gentle background whisper here. Ainz sat on one of the benches and simply breathed. The garden felt removed from everything, from responsibility, from worry, from the weight of leadership. Here, he could just exist. He closed his eyes and listened. Water trickling into the pond. Leaves rustling in a gentle breeze, distant bird calls, the subtle hum of magical energy that infused everything in Nazarick. His mind drifted, and he thought about his guildmates again. Not with sadness this time, but with gratitude. They had created this place, this beautiful, peaceful tomb full of wonders. And even though they weren't here, their creativity lived on in every room, every floor, every carefully designed detail. "Thank you," he whispered to them, wherever they were. "Thank you for giving me this gift." He spent several hours in the garden that day and returned to it often in the days that followed. It became his sanctuary, his private place to think and rest and simply be. Albedo found him there one evening. She approached quietly, respectfully, not wanting to disturb him. "My lord," she said softly, "may I join you?" "Please," Ainz said, gesturing to the bench beside him. She sat gracefully, folding her wings comfortably behind her. For a while, they simply sat together in comfortable silence, listening to the garden's peaceful sounds. "This is a beautiful place," Albedo said eventually. "I had forgotten it existed. We should come here more often." "I'd like that," Ainz said. "My lord," Albedo said, her voice careful, "may I ask you something?" "Always." "Are you happy?" she asked. "Here, in this new world, I know the circumstances are strange, and you must miss the other supreme beings. But are you finding contentment?" Ainz considered the question carefully. Was he happy? In his old life, he'd forgotten what happiness felt like. Work had been exhausting. Loneliness had been constant. Each day had blurred into the next, gray and empty. But here, he had purpose. He had companions. He had beauty around him. He had challenges that engaged his mind and responsibilities that gave his life meaning. "Yes," he said, realizing it was true. "I think I am happy. Or at least, I'm more content than I've been in a very long time." Albedo smiled, and the genuine joy on her face was radiant. "That makes me happier than I can express, my lord. Your happiness is everything to me." They continued sitting together as the light in the garden slowly dimmed, transitioning from afternoon to evening. The flowers seemed to glow softly in the fading light. The pond reflected the first stars appearing in the artificial sky above. "Albedo," Ainz said quietly, "I want you to know that I value you, not just as the overseer of the Guardians, but as a person. Your thoughts, your feelings, your presence, they all matter to me." She turned to look at him, and her eyes were bright with emotion. "My lord, She paused, seeming to struggle with words. "I exist to serve you. But more than that, I want to understand you, to know you, to be someone you can trust and rely on." "You already are," Ainz said gently. You've been invaluable to me. I don't know if I could manage all of this without you." A single tear rolled down Albedo's cheek, not from sadness, but from joy. "Thank you," she whispered. "Thank you for seeing me as more than just a creation, for treating me with such kindness." They sat together until full darkness fell, the garden illuminated now by softly glowing flowers and the gentle light of magical fireflies. It was peaceful. Perfect. A moment of pure tranquility in a complicated world. Chapter 7. First Contact. The decision to make contact with the nearby village came after much deliberation. Ainz knew he couldn't hide Nazarik's existence forever. Eventually, someone would notice the massive tomb. Better to control the narrative, to introduce themselves on their own terms. He chose to go himself, accompanied only by Albedo and Sebas. He wanted to appear approachable, not threatening. 3 people, rather than an army, they used magic to disguise themselves. Ainz altered his appearance to look like a human adventurer, a tall man in dark robes, his face hidden beneath a hood. Albedo simply hid her wings beneath a cloak. Sebas looked human already, so he needed no disguise. They approached the village in late morning, when people would be busy with daily tasks and less likely to panic at the sight of strangers. The village was small and rustic. Simple wooden houses with thatched roofs, fields of wheat and vegetables, chickens wandering freely, children playing in the dirt paths between homes. It reminded Ainz of medieval villages from history books, peaceful and timeless. As they entered the village, people noticed them. Conversations paused. Work slowed. Curious eyes watched the strangers. An elderly man approached them, his weathered face cautious but not hostile. He wore simple farmer's clothes and leaned on a walking stick. "Greetings, travelers," he said. "We don't see many strangers here. What brings you to our village?" Ainz spoke carefully, keeping his voice friendly. "Greetings. We're new to this area and wanted to introduce ourselves to our neighbors. We mean no harm. We simply seek to understand this land better." The old man studied them for a moment, then nodded slowly. "I am the village elder, Thomas. You are welcome here, as long as you come in peace." "We do," Ainz assured him. "We've settled in the area and want to be good neighbors." This seemed to put Thomas at ease. His posture relaxed and he even smiled slightly. "Then please, let me show you our village. It's not much, but we're proud of our home." Thomas gave them a tour, introducing them to various villagers. Everyone was polite, if a bit shy around the strangers. Ainz made sure to be respectful, to show interest in their lives, to treat them as equals rather than inferiors. He met farmers who worked the fields, a blacksmith who made simple tools, a woman who baked bread, children who stared at them with wide, curious eyes. Each person had their own story, their own life, their own dreams and worries. They were real people, not NPCs in a game, not obstacles to overcome, just people trying to live peacefully. This realization settled over Ainz with weight and clarity. If he was going to live in this world, he would need to coexist with people like these. He would need to be a protector, not a threat. "Your village is lovely," Ainz told Thomas as the tour concluded. "If you ever need anything, help with difficult tasks, protection from dangerous creatures, trade goods, please let us know. We want to be good neighbors." Thomas looked surprised and pleased. "That's very generous of you. Most powerful folk don't concern themselves with villages like ours, but we appreciate the offer, truly." They talked for a while longer, sharing information about the area, about the wider world. Aints learned that they were in a region called the Restful Kingdom, a nation of humans ruled by a king in a distant capital. The area around the village was considered frontier territory, relatively lawless and occasionally threatened by monsters. This was valuable information. It gave Ain's context, helped him understand the political landscape. Before leaving, Ain's gave Tomas a small pouch of gold coins, currency he'd had in his game inventory that apparently worked here too. "A gift," he said, "for your hospitality and kindness." Tomas tried to refuse, but Ain's insisted. "Please, we have more than we need, and I want to help." Finally, Tomas accepted with humble gratitude. "Thank you, sir. This will help the village greatly. You are truly kind." As they walked back toward Nazarick, Albedo spoke thoughtfully. "That went well, my lord. You handled it perfectly." "They are good people," Ein said. "Simple, honest, hard-working. They deserve to live in peace." "And we will ensure they do," Albedo said firmly. "Under your protection, that village will thrive." Ainz nodded. He was beginning to see a path forward. Nazarick didn't need to conquer or dominate. They could exist peacefully, helping when needed, protecting those who couldn't protect themselves, building relationships based on mutual respect rather than fear. It was a gentle path, a peaceful path. And it felt right. Chapter 8. The Library of Dreams. Time continued passing in peaceful routine. Weeks became months. Ainz settled into his role as leader of Nazarick, finding comfort in the daily rhythms of managing the tomb and exploring the surrounding lands. One of his favorite discoveries was the library on the 10th floor. It was vast, filled with countless books that had been collected by his guildmates over the years. In the game, they had been mostly flavor items, decorative. But now, each book was readable, full of actual content. Ainz spent many evenings in the library, sitting in a comfortable chair by the window, reading by magical light. The books covered every topic imaginable: history, philosophy, magic, poetry, adventure stories, technical manuals, and more. He found particular comfort in the poetry. There was something about the rhythm of verse, the careful choice of words, the emotions distilled into short stanzas that helped him process his own feelings about this strange new life. One evening, Albedo found him reading in the library. She approached quietly, carrying 2 cups of tea. Even though Ainz's undead body didn't need food or drink, he discovered he could still taste things, still enjoy the warmth of tea, the ritual of sharing a beverage with someone. "May I join you, my lord?" she asked. "Of course," Ainz said, setting his book aside. She handed him 1 cup and settled into the chair across from him, holding her own cup delicately. For a while, they simply sat together, sipping tea, enjoying the quiet comfort of the library. "What are you reading?" Albedo asked eventually. Ainz showed her the book, a collection of poems about nature, about seasons changing, about the beauty of simple things. "May I hear one?" Albedo asked. Ainz nodded and read aloud. "In the garden after rain, petals glisten, free from pain. Water drops on leaves so green, peaceful moments, calm, serene. Summer breeze through autumn trees, gentle whispers in the leaves. Time moves slow, the world at rest, these quiet hours serve us best." The words hung in the air between them, simple but beautiful. Albedo closed her eyes, listening, her face peaceful. "That's lovely," she said softly. "It describes perfectly how I feel in moments like this. At peace, content, simply existing with someone I care about." Ainz felt something warm in his chest, or whatever the equivalent was in his skeletal body. Connection. Companionship. The simple joy of sharing something beautiful with someone who appreciated it. They continued sitting together, sometimes talking, sometimes in comfortable silence. Albedo told him about her day, about small accomplishments and minor challenges. Ainz shared his thoughts about the books he'd been reading, about ideas for improving life in Nazarick. The conversation flowed naturally, easily, without pressure or performance. It was just two people, or two beings at least, enjoying each other's company. As the evening grew later, Ainz realized this was what he'd been missing in his old life. Not adventure or excitement or grand achievements, just this, simple connection, someone to talk to. Someone who listened and understood. Someone who chose to be with him not out of obligation, but because they genuinely wanted to. "Thank you for being here," he said to Albedo. She smiled softly. "Thank you for allowing me to be here. These moments with you, my lord, they are the most precious gift I could receive." They stayed in the library until the magical lights began to dim, signaling the approach of night. Then they walked together through the quiet halls of Nazarick, back toward their respective quarters. At the door to Albedo's room, they paused. "Good night, Albedo," Ainz said. "Good night, Lord Ainz," she replied. Then, hesitantly, she added, "Sleep well." "May your rest be peaceful, and your dreams be kind." "And yours as well," Ainz said. She smiled once more, then slipped into her room, closing the door gently behind her. Ainz continued to his own chambers, the master bedroom connected to the throne room, designed for the guild leader. It was spacious and comfortable, filled with luxurious furniture and decorated in dark, elegant tones. He lay down on the bed, even though his body didn't require sleep. But the act of lying down, of closing his eyes, of letting his mind settle into rest, it felt important, human, even though he wasn't human anymore. He thought about the day, about the peaceful hours in the library, about the comfortable conversation with Albedo. He thought about the village and the kind people there. He thought about Nazarick and all the beings who called it home. This was his life now. This was his world, and despite all its strangeness, despite all the impossibility of it, he was grateful. Grateful for a second chance, grateful for purpose, grateful for companionship, grateful for peace. As his consciousness drifted towards something like sleep, Ainz's last thought was simple and sincere. "I'm home." Chapter 9. The Seasons Turn. Months became seasons. Spring arrived, bringing wildflowers to the grasslands and new growth to the forests. Ainz watched the world transform with wonder, experiencing seasonal change in a way he never had in his climate control department in the real world. He established a routine that brought him joy. Mornings were for administration, reviewing reports, making decisions, ensuring Nazarick ran smoothly. Afternoons were for exploration, walking the lands, visiting the village, discovering new places. Evenings were for reading and reflection, often in the library or the garden. The village prospered under his quiet protection. When monsters threatened, Nazarick's guardians eliminated them before villagers even knew danger approached. When drought threatened crops, Ainz used weather magic to bring gentle rain. He never asked for anything in return, never demanded worship or tribute. He simply helped, because he could and because it felt right. The villagers began to see him as a benevolent protector. They didn't know about Nazarick. He kept that secret for everyone's safety, but they knew the mysterious robed man who occasionally visited brought good fortune. Children would run up to him when he visited, their initial shyness overcome by familiarity. They would show him drawings they'd made, or tell him about games they'd invented, or ask him to use magic to create pretty lights in the air. Ains found he enjoyed these interactions. The children's innocence and joy were refreshing, their laughter was genuine, their trust was complete. One little girl, perhaps 6 years old, approached him during a visit and held up her arms. "Up," she demanded. Ains looked at Sebas, who accompanied him that day, uncertain. Sebas smiled slightly and nodded, as if to say it was okay. Carefully, Ains picked up the child, lifting her to sit on his hip. She giggled with delight, then wrapped her small arms around his neck in a hug. "You're nice," she declared. "I like you." Something in Ains's chest, his non-existent heart, felt full. This child, so innocent and trusting, felt safe with him, felt affection for him. It was a gift more precious than any treasure. "I like you too," he said softly, his voice gentle. Her mother came rushing over, apologizing for her daughter's boldness. But Ains waved away the apology. "It's perfectly fine," he assured her. "Children should feel safe and happy." He spent a few more minutes with the girl, creating magical butterflies made of light that fluttered around her, making her laugh with pure delight. Then he carefully set her down and continued his visit to the village. But the memory of that hug, that simple gesture of childish affection, stayed with him for days. Summer brought warm days and cool nights. Ains would sometimes sit outside Nazarick in the evenings, looking up at the stars, listening to crickets sing in the grass. Albedo often joined him, and they would talk about everything and nothing. "Do you ever miss your old world?" Albedo asked him one such evening. Ains considered the question carefully. "Sometimes," he admitted, "there are things I miss, certain conveniences, certain experiences, but mostly, no, I don't miss it. This world feels more real to me than that one ever did." "I'm glad," Albedo said softly. "I'm glad you found a home here. With us. With me." They sat in comfortable silence, the night peaceful around them, the stars bright above. Autumn arrived with cooler temperatures and changing leaves. The forests around Nazarick transformed into a tapestry of reds, oranges, and golds. Ains would walk through the fallen leaves, enjoying the sound they made beneath his feet, the smell of them drying in the air. The village prepared for winter, harvesting crops and storing food. Ains discreetly ensured they had enough supplies, using Nazarick's resources to supplement what they'd grown. No one would go hungry under his watch. Winter brought snow, and the world transformed into white silence. Ains discovered he loved snow. The way it muffled sound, the way it made everything clean and new, the peaceful quality of watching it fall. He would stand at his window in the throne room, watching snow drift down from gray skies, feeling a deep sense of contentment. This was peace. This was home. This was life as it should be. Chapter 10. The Gift of Time. Chapter 10. The Gift of Time. One winter evening, Ains sat in his chambers reflecting on the time that had passed since arriving in this world. Nearly a year now. A full cycle of seasons. A year of peaceful living, of growing relationships, of finding purpose. There was a soft knock on his door. "Come in," he called. Albedo entered, carrying something wrapped in cloth. She approached and knelt before him, offering the bundle. "My lord," she said, "I've made something for you, a gift to express my gratitude for everything you've given me, for bringing me to life, for treating me with kindness, for allowing me to serve you." Curious, Ains unwrapped the cloth. Inside was a book, handmade, the cover decorated with intricate designs. He opened it carefully. It was a journal. But not blank. Albedo had filled it with entries, starting from the very first day of consciousness. She'd written about her thoughts, her feelings, her experiences of awakening to true awareness. She'd written about her observations of Ainz, her admiration for his leadership, her joy in serving him. But more than that, she'd included sketches, beautiful drawings of Nazarick, of the surrounding lands, of moments they'd shared together. Each one was detailed and lovingly rendered. "This is beautiful," Ainz said, genuinely moved. "Albedo, this must have taken you months." "It did," she said, still kneeling. "But every moment was a joy. Creating something for you, something that captures our journey together. I wanted you to have this, so you never forget this year, so you know how much it has meant to me." Ainz set the book aside carefully and reached down, taking her hands in his and gently pulling her to her feet. "Stand," he said. "Please, you don't need to kneel to give me gifts." She stood, and he could see tears in her eyes, happy tears. "Thank you," he said sincerely. "This is one of the most thoughtful gifts anyone has ever given me. I will treasure it always." She smiled through her tears. "You're welcome, my lord. I'm so grateful for everything, for you." On impulse, Ainz pulled her into a gentle hug. She stiffened for just a moment in surprise, then relaxed, returning the embrace. They stood like that for a long moment, two beings sharing warmth and connection and mutual appreciation. When they separated, both of them seemed lighter somehow, happier. "Will you stay and talk for a while?" Ainz asked. "I'd like your company." "Nothing would make me happier," Albedo said. They settled into comfortable chairs by the fireplace, a real fire, crackling warmly, its light dancing across the walls. They talked about memories from the past year, about favorite moments, about hopes for the year to come. "What do you want for the future?" Albedo asked. "For yourself, for Nazarick, for this world?" Ainz thought about this carefully. "I want peace," he said finally. "I want Nazarick to be a place of safety and beauty. I want the village to prosper. I want to explore more of this world, learn its secrets, meet its people. I want to build something good here, something that matters, something that honors the friends who created Nazarick, even if they're not here to see it." "That's a beautiful vision," Albedo said. "And we will make it real. Together." "Together," Ainz agreed. They continued talking late into the night, the fire burning down to glowing coals, the winter wind gentle outside. And when Albedo finally left to return to her own chambers, Ainz felt full of warmth and contentment. He picked up the journal she'd made and carefully turned through its pages, reading her words, studying her drawings. Each entry was a testament to care, to attention, to genuine affection. He realized something then, something important. He wasn't alone anymore. He had people, beings, who cared about him, who chose to be with him, who found joy in his presence just as he found joy in theirs. This was what he'd needed all along, not power or adventure or glory, just connection, just companionship, just the simple knowledge that he mattered to someone. "Thank you," he whispered to the empty room, to his absent friends who had created this place, to whatever force had brought him here, to Albedo and all the residents of Nazarick, to the villagers who had welcomed him, to this world that had given him a new chance. Thank you for everything. Chapter 11. The Philosophy of Peace. Spring returned, completing the cycle, and Is marked his one-year anniversary in this world with quiet celebration. He held a small gathering in the throne room, with all the floor guardians present, and thanked them for their service and dedication. "We've built something good here," he told them, "a place of safety and purpose. And we've done it peacefully, with wisdom rather than force. That's something to be proud of." The Guardians bowed deeply, their loyalty and respect evident in every gesture. Over the following weeks, Ains found himself thinking deeply about the philosophy that had guided him through this year. Why had he chosen peace over conquest? Why had he focused on protection rather than domination? He realized it came from his own experiences with loneliness and powerlessness in his old life. He'd felt small and insignificant, ground down by an uncaring system. He'd known what it was like to feel helpless. He didn't want to make others feel that way. He didn't want to be the force that crushed dreams and destroyed lives. He wanted to be the opposite, someone who lifted others up, who protected rather than threatened, who used power responsibly. This philosophy extended to how he managed Nazarick. He encouraged the NPCs to develop as individuals, to pursue interests beyond their original programming. He gave them freedom to make choices, to express opinions, to grow as people. Albedo took up painting and created beautiful artwork. Aura developed an interest in botany and started a garden. Mare discovered he enjoyed music and learned to play a flute. Each Guardian found ways to express themselves creatively, to become more than just warriors and protectors. Nazarick became not just a fortress, but a home. A place where beings could flourish and find joy. One afternoon, Ains stood in Aura's new garden, different from the one on the 6th floor, this one on the surface, open to real sky and real weather. Flowers of every color bloomed in carefully tended beds, vegetables grew in neat rows, berry bushes lined the edges. Aura showed him around proudly, explaining what she'd planted and why. "This section is for herbs," she said. "They can be used for cooking or for medicine. And over here, I'm growing flowers that attract butterflies. I thought it would be nice to have butterflies around." "It's wonderful," Ains said sincerely. "You've created something beautiful here." Aura beamed with pride. "Thank you, Lord Ains. It makes me happy to create life, to nurture things and watch them grow." Ains realized this was what he'd wanted all along, not subjects who feared him, but people who could find their own happiness, who could create and grow and become themselves. "Keep it up," he encouraged her. "This garden is a credit to you." Later that day, he sat in his study, writing in his own journal. Inspired by Albedo's gift, he'd started keeping one himself. He wrote about his philosophy, trying to articulate the principles that guided him. Power without wisdom is tyranny. Strength without compassion is cruelty. Leadership without love is oppression. "I will strive to be wise, compassionate, and loving in all I do. I will use my power to protect, not to dominate. I will lead with humility, remembering that those who follow me are people with their own dreams and fears and hopes. I will build rather than destroy. I will nurture rather than crush. This is my commitment. This is my path." He read over the words and felt they were true. This was who he wanted to be. This was the kind of leader he aspired to. Chapter 12, The Endless Horizon. Time continued flowing like a gentle river. Years passed, 2, then 3, then 5. Nazarick remained a peaceful sanctuary, its residents growing and flourishing. The village expanded into a small town, prosperous and safe under Ains's distant protection. Ains himself changed too, not physically, but internally. He grew more confident in his role, more comfortable with leadership. The emotional suppression that had once seemed unsettling became simply part of his nature. He learned to work with it, to express care and connection through actions even when emotions were muted. His relationship with Albedo deepened into something beautiful and complex. They were partners in leadership, friends in leisure, and something more intimate than either, companions in the truest sense, two beings who had chosen each other and continued choosing each other every day. They would often spend evenings together, sometimes in the library, sometimes in the garden, sometimes simply walking under the stars. They didn't need constant conversation. Their silences were comfortable, full of mutual understanding. "Do you ever wonder," Albedo asked him one starlit night, "what would have happened if you hadn't stayed until midnight? If you'd logged out before the server shut down?" Ainz considered this. "Sometimes," he admitted, "but I can't regret staying. Whatever brought me here, whatever happened, it gave me a life I never could have had otherwise." "I'm grateful you stayed," Albedo said softly. "Without you, I would never have truly existed. I would never have known consciousness, never experienced beauty, never felt joy. You gave me life, my lord, real life." "And you've given me purpose," Ainz replied. "A reason to be better than I was. Thank you, Albedo." They stood together, two silhouettes against the starry sky, and the world was peaceful around them. Ainz expanded his explorations, traveling further from Nazarick. He visited other towns, other villages, always in disguise, always careful. He learned about the wider world, its kingdoms and cultures, its histories and conflicts, its ordinary people trying to live ordinary lives. Everywhere he went, he tried to leave things a little better than he found them. A kind word to someone struggling. A small act of magic to solve a problem. Coin left anonymously for families in need. He never sought recognition or gratitude. He simply helped because he could. One day, in a city far from Nazarick, he saw an old man struggling to carry supplies. Without thinking, Ainz stepped forward to help, lifting the heavy bags easily. "Thank you, young man," the old man said, though of course Ainz wasn't young and wasn't a man beneath his disguise. "Kindness still exists in this world. That's good to know." "It's nothing," Ainz said. "We should help each other when we can." The old man smiled, a warm expression that transformed his weathered face. "My father used to say that. He said the world is only as good as the people in it choose to make it. Seems you understand that." Ainz thought about those words as he walked back toward Nazarick later. The world is only as good as the people in it choose to make it. Yes, that was exactly right. He couldn't control everything. He couldn't solve every problem or right every wrong. But he could choose every day to make the world a little bit better, to be a force for good rather than harm. To use his power wisely and his influence kindly. That was enough. That was everything. Chapter 13, The Circle Complete. 10 years passed. A decade in this new world. Ainz stood at his favorite window in the throne room, looking out over lands that had become deeply familiar. The grasslands, the forests, the distant mountains, the town that had grown from a village, all of it felt like home. He thought about the person he'd been when he first arrived, confused, uncertain, afraid beneath the emotional suppression. And he thought about who he'd become, confident, purposeful, at peace with himself and his place in this world. It had been a journey. Not one of grand battles or epic quests, but a journey of growth, of learning to lead, of discovering what truly mattered. The Floor Guardians had grown too. Each one had developed far beyond their original parameters, becoming complex individuals with rich inner lives. They were no longer just NPCs or servants. They were people Ainz genuinely cared about, friends and family and all but blood. The town prospered. Children who had been born after Ains's arrival were now young adults, living good lives in a safe community. They didn't know about Nazarick, didn't know about the undead Overlord who watched over them. They just knew they were safe, and that was enough. Albedo entered the throne room, and Ains turned from the window to greet her. After 10 years, her presence still brought him comfort and joy. "My lord," she said, smiling, "I thought you might like some company." "Always," Ains replied. She joined him at the window, and together they looked out at the peaceful landscape. 10 years, she said softly. "Can you believe it's been that long? It feels like both forever and no time at all," Ains said. "Time is strange here." "Time is strange everywhere," Albedo said philosophically. "But what we do with it, that's what matters. And I think we've used our time well." "I hope so," Ains said. "I've tried my best." "You've done more than try," Albedo assured him. "You've succeeded. You've created something lasting, something good. Nazarick thrives, the town thrives, the Guardians have grown beyond anything the Supreme Beings could have imagined. And you," she paused, looking at him with affection, "you've become exactly the leader we needed. Patient, wise, kind. I'm so proud of you." Ains felt warmth spread through him. Praise from Albedo always meant something special. "Thank you," he said. "I couldn't have done any of it without you." They stood together in comfortable silence, watching the sun set over the peaceful lands. The sky turned orange and pink and purple, colors painting the world in gentle beauty. "What do you think the next 10 years will bring?" Albedo asked. "More of the same, I hope," Ains said. "More peace, more growth, more quiet days and gentle moments. I don't need grand adventures. I have everything I need right here." "As do I," Albedo said softly. The sun sank below the horizon, and the first stars appeared in the darkening sky. Lights began appearing in the town below, candles and lamps being lit as families settled in for the evening. Smoke rose from chimneys as dinner was cooked. Somewhere, faint on the breeze, Ains could hear the laughter of children playing one last game before being called inside. It was perfect. This moment, this life, this world, all of it was perfect in its imperfection. Real and messy and beautiful. "Come," Ains said to Albedo. "Let's go to the garden. I want to watch the stars emerge." "I'd like that," she said. They walked together through the quiet halls of Nazarick, down to the 6th floor, to the garden that had become Ains's sanctuary. They settled on the bench beneath the flowering trees, and above them, the artificial sky displayed the same stars visible outside. A magic that connected interior to exterior, made Nazarick part of the wider world rather than separate from it. More stars appeared as darkness deepened. Constellations emerged, patterns in the sky that told stories of heroes and monsters, of love and loss, of dreams fulfilled and journeys completed. Ains and Albedo sat together, shoulders nearly touching, breathing in the cool night air fragrant with flowers. The garden pond reflected the starlight, creating a mirror of the heavens on earth. Somewhere in the darkness, nightbirds sang their gentle songs. "Tell me a story," Albedo said softly. "Something peaceful, something that helps the mind rest." Ains thought for a moment, then began speaking in a quiet, measured voice. "Once, in a world very different from this one, there was a person who felt lost. They worked every day at something that didn't fulfill them. They came home to emptiness. They wondered if life would always feel gray and hollow. But then, one day, something impossible happened. They found themselves in a new place, surrounded by people who needed them. At first, they were frightened. They didn't know if they could be what others needed them to be. But slowly, day by day, they learned. They discovered that leadership wasn't about being perfect. It was about being present, about listening, about caring. They found that the best way to lead was to serve, to protect, to nurture. And in taking care of others, they found themselves taking care of themselves. In giving others purpose, they found their own purpose. In creating a home for others, they finally found their own home. Years passed and the person realized something wonderful. They were happy, truly, deeply happy. Not because everything was perfect, but because they had learned to appreciate what they had. The quiet moments, the gentle conversations, the simple act of watching stars with someone they cared about. They had found peace, and in that peace, they had found everything they'd been searching for all along. Ines finished speaking and the garden was silent except for the soft sounds of night. Albedo sat very still beside him, her eyes closed, a peaceful expression on her face. "That's a beautiful story," she whispered. "Thank you." They remained in the garden for hours, sometimes talking in hushed voices, sometimes simply existing in comfortable silence. The stars wheeled overhead in their eternal dance. The world breathed around them, alive and peaceful. Eventually, as the night grew very late, they rose from the bench and walked slowly back through Nazarick. The tomb was quiet at this hour, most of its residents resting. Their footsteps echoed softly in the corridors, a rhythmic sound that was soothing in its repetition. At the fork where their paths diverged, Albedo to her chambers, Ines to his, they paused. "Good night, Albedo," Ines said gently. "Thank you for spending the evening with me." "Good night, Lord Ines," she replied. "Thank you for the story, for everything. Sleep well." "You too," he said. She hesitated for just a moment, as if wanting to say something more, but then simply smiled and turned toward her chambers. Ines watched her go, then continued to his own rooms. His chambers were warm and comfortable, lit by the soft glow of magical lights that automatically dimmed at night. He changed into more comfortable clothes, a habit from his human life that he maintained even though his skeletal body didn't require it, and lay down on his bed. The ceiling above was painted with a mural of the night sky, stars and constellations carefully rendered by one of his artistic guildmates years ago. Ines looked up at it, tracing familiar patterns, letting his mind drift and settle. He thought about the day, about the quiet pleasures it had contained. Walking through the garden, talking with Albedo, watching the sunset, sharing a story under the stars, simple things, beautiful things. He thought about the town, about the people sleeping peacefully in their beds, safe under his protection. He thought about the guardians, each resting in their own spaces, content in their roles and their lives. He thought about Nazarick itself, this impossible place that had become so real, so precious. Everything was as it should be. Everyone was safe. The world was at peace. Ines felt his consciousness beginning to drift, that state between waking and sleeping that his undead body could achieve through meditation and intentional rest. His thoughts slowed, became dreamlike and gentle. Images floated through his mind, the grasslands waving in the breeze, flowers blooming in the garden, Albedo's smile, children playing in the town. Stars reflected in the pond, books in the library, the warm glow of firelight, the taste of tea, the sound of laughter, all the good things, all the peaceful moments, all the reasons life was worth living. His breathing, unnecessary but comforting, slowed to a deep, restful rhythm. His body relaxed completely into the soft mattress. The magical lights dimmed further, creating a darkness that felt safe rather than frightening. "This is home," he thought drowsily. "This is where I belong. This is enough." And with that thought, Ainswalgown, overlord of the great tomb of Nazarick, protector of the innocent, leader of the guardians, drifted into deep and peaceful rest. The stars wheeled overhead. The world breathed gently. Time flowed like a quiet river. And in the darkness, everything was still. Everything was peaceful. Everything was well. Hello there, dear friend. My name is Thomas, and I'm so glad you're here with me tonight. Welcome to this special moment we're about to share together. Tonight, I'll be telling you a story called The Peaceful Kingdom, inspired by the world of Overlord Season 2, but transformed into something gentle, something calming, something perfect for rest. Before we begin, I'm curious. What time is it where you are right now? Are you settling into bed? Perhaps you're lying down already, feeling the weight of the day slowly lifting from your shoulders. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, this is your time now. Time to let go. Time to breathe. Time to rest. Take a moment. Adjust your pillow. Get comfortable. Let your body sink into whatever surface supports you right now. Feel that support. You're safe here. You're exactly where you need to be. Now, let's begin our journey together. In a land far beyond the edges of sleep, there existed a kingdom. Not a kingdom of war or chaos, but a kingdom of profound peace. The Great Tomb, as it was called, stood not as a monument to darkness, but as a sanctuary of stillness. Its master, a being of immense power named Ainz, ruled not with fear, but with a gentle wisdom that flowed like water over smooth stones. Picture this place with me now. Close your eyes if you wish. Breathe in slowly. Hold it. Now release. Good. The Great Tomb was built into the side of a sleeping mountain. The mountain itself seemed to breathe, slowly, steadily, in rhythm with the earth below. The entrance was carved from ancient stone, worn smooth by countless years of wind and rain. Moss grew in soft patches along the edges, bright green and alive. Inside, the halls were not cold or frightening. They were warm, lit by thousands of floating lights that drifted like fireflies on a summer evening. Each light pulsed gently, slowly, creating a rhythm that matched the beating of a calm heart. If you listened carefully, you could almost hear it. Thump, thump, pause, thump, thump, pause. Breathe with that rhythm now. In, out, in, out, in, out. Ainz stood in his chamber, looking out over his kingdom. He was not the skeleton of battle you might imagine. In this peaceful realm, he appeared as a figure of calm authority, robed in deep blue fabric that moved like water. His eyes, which could have burned with intensity, instead glowed with a soft amber light like candles in a window on a cold night. He was thinking. Not about conquest or domination. He was thinking about his subjects, his guardians, and how to ensure their happiness and peace. This was his burden and his joy. Another day ends, he said softly to himself. His voice was not harsh or commanding. It was quiet, reflective, like someone speaking to the stars. Another day to learn, to grow, to protect. Below his chamber, in the many levels of the Great Tomb, his guardians were settling into their evening routines. Each one had their own way of welcoming the night. Let's visit them together. Walk with me now, in your mind. Feel your feet on cool marble floors. Hear the gentle echo of distant water dripping somewhere in the depths. Smell the faint scent of incense, lavender, and chamomile drifting through the air. We descend the first staircase, 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Each step takes us deeper into relaxation. 4 steps, 5 steps, your breathing slows. 6 steps, 7 steps, your muscles relax. 8 steps, 9 steps. We arrive at the first level. Here, we find Albedo, the overseer of the Guardians. In this peaceful kingdom, she is not a warrior, but a caretaker. She tends to a garden unlike any other. It grows inside the tomb, lit by magical light that mimics the sun, but gentler, softer, more like the sun filtering through leaves on a lazy afternoon. Albedo moves among the plants with grace. She touches a leaf here, adjusts a stem there. Her white gown flows around her like mist. Her long black hair is tied back simply, practically. On her face, a gentle smile. "How are you today, little ones?" she whispers to the flowers. And perhaps in this magical place, they whisper back, not with words, but with feelings, contentment, growth, peace. She picks up a watering can, made of silver that doesn't shine too brightly. The water inside is pure, drawn from an underground spring that flows beneath the tomb. As she pours, the sound is musical, soft, trickling, like a small stream over pebbles. Listen to that sound. Let it wash over you. Water flowing, constant, reliable, soothing. Albedo hums a melody as she works. It has no words, just notes that rise and fall gently, like breathing, like waves on a calm shore. The melody wraps around you like a blanket, warm, safe, soft. She finishes her watering and sits on a small stone bench among the flowers. She closes her eyes and simply exists for a moment. Being, not doing, just being. You can do that too. Just be, right now. Nothing to do that too. Just be, right now. Nothing to do. Nowhere to go. Just be. After a time that could be minutes or hours, time moves differently here. Albedo stands and makes her way to check on the others. We follow, still descending, still relaxing, still letting go. The next level brings us to Cocytus. In battle, he would be a fearsome warrior. Here, he is a guardian of stillness. His chamber is cold, yes, but not uncomfortably so. It's the coolness of a cellar in summer, refreshing and welcome. Cocytus sits in meditation. His massive form is perfectly still. If you didn't know better, you might think he was a statue carved from ice and will. But he lives. He breathes. Slowly. So slowly. We watch him for a while. His breathing becomes your breathing. In through the nose, slow and deep. Fill your lungs completely. Hold for a moment. Then out through the mouth even slower, emptying completely. Again, in, hold, out. Again, in, hold, out. Cocytus is thinking of nothing and everything. He is present in this moment completely. He feels the cool air on his skin. He hears the silence, which is not truly silent, but filled with the tiny sounds of existence, the hum of magic, the settling of stone, the whisper of his own breath. In this state, he finds strength, not the strength of muscle or weapon, but the strength of mind. The strength of peace, the strength of acceptance. We leave him to his meditation and continue on. Our journey takes us deeper, always deeper, each level more relaxed than the last. Now we find Demiurge. You might expect to find him plotting or planning, but here, in the peaceful kingdom, Demiurge is a scholar. His chamber is a library, walls lined with books from floor to ceiling. But these are not books of war or strategy. They are books of poetry, philosophy, stories of kindness and wonder. He sits in a comfortable chair by a fireplace. The fire burns low, just embers now, glowing orange and red. They pulse gently, like the lights in the halls, like a heartbeat, like breathing. Demiurge holds a book, but he's not reading. He's staring into the fire, lost in thought, peaceful thought. He's thinking about beauty, about the way light moves, about the patterns in nature, about the simple joy of a well-crafted sentence. On a small table beside him sits a cup of tea, still warm, still steaming. The steam rises in delicate spirals, dancing in the air currents, disappearing into nothing. Here, then gone. Here, then gone. Everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. Everything passes. Even discomfort, even restlessness, even the inability to sleep. All things pass like steam into air. Demiurge picks up his cup and takes a small sip. He savors it. Taste, temperature, texture, all present in this single moment. Then the moment passes and another comes, and another, and another, and another. Time flows like the tea, smooth and warm and inevitable. We move on. There are other guardians to visit. Each one teaches us something about peace, about rest, about letting go. We find shelter in her chamber. Here, she is not a vampire of violence, but a guardian of dreams. Her room is draped in soft fabrics, deep reds and purples that absorb light rather than reflect it. Everything is muted, quiet, subdued. She lies on a chaise, eyes closed, breathing steady. She is dreaming but aware, in a state between waking and sleeping. This is her gift. She can guide others to this place, this threshold where rest begins. As we watch her, we feel it too, that gentle pull, that soft invitation. The place where thoughts become dreamlike, where worries fade, where the body finally lets go. Don't fight it. Let it come. There's no rush, no pressure, just possibility. The possibility of rest. Shaltera's breathing guides us. In, out, each breath a little slower than the last, each breath taking us a little deeper into relaxation. Your eyelids are getting heavy. That's natural. That's good. Let them be heavy. Let your whole body be heavy, sinking down, supported completely. We continue our tour. We visit Aura and Mare, the twin guardians of nature. Their level is filled with the sounds of a forest at night. Crickets chirping, a distant owl, wind through leaves, a small stream bubbling. These sounds create a symphony of peace, each sound distinct but part of the whole. Together they form a blanket of white noise that calms the mind, that says, all is well, all is safe, rest now. Ora and Mare sit by the stream, feet dangling in the cool water. They don't speak. They don't need to. They are siblings, twins, connected beyond words. They simply exist together, sharing the moment, sharing the peace. You are part of this peace too. You belong here. You are welcome here. The water flows over their feet, constant and cool. Flow, movement, but always the same, always reliable. You can count on the water to flow. You can count on the sun to rise. You can count on this moment to hold you. We're going deeper now. Down more stairs. Stone steps, worn smooth by countless footsteps before yours. Each step down is a step further into relaxation, further into peace, further towards sleep. Down we go. 1, 2, 3. Your shoulders drop. 4, 5, 6. Your jaw unclenches. 7, 8, 9. Your mind quiets. 10. We arrive at the throne room. This is the heart of the great tomb. This is where Ein sits, where he watches over all his guardians, where he ensures peace reigns. The room is vast but not empty. It's filled with a a calm, watching presence, benevolent, protective, like a parent watching a child sleep, like a shepherd watching the flock, like the universe itself, infinite and patient. Ainz sits on his throne, but it's not a throne of power, it's a chair, comfortable, simple. He sits there because someone needs to, because watching over others is his purpose and his joy. He sees us enter and he nods, a small gesture, welcoming, acknowledging. You are seen, you are accepted, you are exactly as you should be. Welcome, traveler, he says softly. You've journeyed far, you've carried much. It's time now to set down your burdens, and with his words you feel it, that permission, that invitation. You can let go now. Whatever you've been carrying, stress, worry, responsibility, fear, you can set it down, just for now, just for tonight. It will be there tomorrow if you need it. You are free. Ainz stands and approaches. He moves slowly, gracefully, like someone who has all the time in the world because time is his to command. He stops before us and extends a hand. Come, he says, let me show you something. We follow him to a balcony. It overlooks the kingdom, but we're so deep inside the mountain that what we see is not land, but something else. Something magical. We see the night sky, but indoors. Projected on the vast ceiling of a cavern, stars twinkle, not harsh and bright, but soft, distant, eternal. The same stars that have watched over humanity for millennia. The same stars that watched over your ancestors. The same stars that will watch over your descendants. You are a small part of a vast, continuing story. And that's okay. That's beautiful. You don't have to be everything. You just have to be you. And right now, you just have to rest. The stars form patterns, constellations. Some you might recognize, some are unique to this magical place. They tell stories without words, stories of heroes and journeys, of love and loss, of struggle and triumph, and finally, of peace and rest. Every story ends in rest. Every journey ends in homecoming. Every day ends in night. And night is not something to fear. Night is a gift, a time of restoration, a time of healing, a time when the world itself takes a deep breath and lets go. Breathe with the world now. Feel yourself as part of this vast, living system, connected to everything, supported by everything, supported by everything. Ainz speaks again, his voice barely above a whisper. In my long existence, I have learned many things, but perhaps the most important is this. There is great power in rest. There is great wisdom in stopping. There is great courage in admitting that you are tired and allowing yourself to sleep. His words settle over you like snow. Soft, quiet, covering everything in white. Pure and simple and peaceful. Too many beings fight sleep, he continues. They see it as weakness or waste, but they are wrong. Sleep is where we process, where we heal, where we integrate all that we have learned and experienced. Sleep is not absence, it is presence. It is your mind and body working together to make you whole. You know he's right. You can feel it. Your body wants to sleep. It's asking for sleep. It's ready for sleep. And you, Ainz says, turning to look directly at you, you have permission to sleep. You have permission to let go. You have done enough for today. You are enough, exactly as you are right now. Those words sink deep. You are enough. You don't have to do more. You don't have to be more. You don't have to be more. You are enough. We stand on the balcony for a long time, watching the stars, feeling the peace, breathing the calm air. Time passes, but it doesn't matter. Minutes or hours, it's all the same here. Eventually, Aints guides us back inside. "Come," he says. "There is one more place I want to show you." We follow him through corridors, down more stairs, always deeper, always quieter, always more peaceful. The walls here are not decorated. They are simple stone, smooth and cool to the touch. The lighting is dimmer, just enough to see, just enough to feel safe. We arrive at a chamber unlike the others. It's small, intimate. In the center is a bed, not grand or ornate. Just a bed, comfortable, inviting, with soft sheets and pillows that look like clouds. "This is the chamber of rest," Aints explains. "It is prepared for anyone who needs it, and tonight it is prepared for you." You approach the bed. It looks so comfortable, so welcoming. You want to lie down, you want to sink into those pillows. You want to pull those covers over you and drift away. "Go ahead," Aints encourages. "It's yours, for as long as you need it." You sit on the edge of the bed. The mattress is perfect, not too soft, not too firm. Just right, supporting your body exactly as it needs to be supported. You lie back, your head sinks into the pillow. It's like being held, cradled, safe. You lift your legs onto the bed. Your whole body is now supported. Every muscle can relax, every tendon can release, every joint can soften. Aints pulls the covers over you. They're warm but not hot, weighted but not heavy. They cocoon you, protect you, comfort you. "Now," Aints says, sitting in a chair beside the bed, "I will tell you the rest of the story. But you don't have to stay awake for it. In fact, it's better if you don't. Let my words wash over you. Let them guide you into dreams. Let them carry you to sleep." You nod slightly. Your eyes are already closed, already heavy, already ready, already ready. Aints begins to speak. His voice is constant, rhythmic, like waves on a shore, like wind through trees, like rain on a roof. "In the peaceful kingdom, every being has value. Every creature matters. From the mightiest guardian to the smallest insect, all are part of the whole, all belong. And you, listening to me now, you belong too. You are part of this tapestry. You are woven into the fabric of existence." The words continue, but you're not quite hearing them anymore. They're becoming something else, becoming feeling, becoming sensation, becoming peace. "There was once a traveler," Aints says, "much like yourself, who came to the kingdom seeking rest. They had journeyed long, they had faced many challenges, they were tired, so tired, right down to their bones." Yes, that's familiar, that resonates. You understand that traveler because you are that traveler. The guardians welcomed them. Albedo offered flowers whose scent could calm any troubled heart. Cositus taught them to breathe, to be still, to find strength in silence. Demiurge shared poetry that spoke to the soul. Shaltir guided them to the threshold between waking and sleeping. You're at that threshold now. You can feel it. The border between here and there, between conscious and unconscious, between day and night. "And Aura and Mara," Anis continues. "They walked with the traveler through a magical forest where every tree whispered peace, where every flower bloomed in shades of calm, where every stream sang a lullaby." You can see that forest now, in your mind's eye. Or is it a dream? You're not sure anymore. The line is blurred, pleasantly blurred. You walk among the trees. They're ancient and wise. They've stood for centuries, weathering storms, basking in sun, enduring winter, celebrating spring. They know about cycles. They know about seasons. They know that after every period of growth comes a period of rest. The leaves rustle overhead, soft, gentle, like whispers of encouragement. Rest now, sleep now, tomorrow will take care of itself. For now, just this, just sleep. You come to a clearing in the forest. In the center is a small pond. The water is perfectly still, like glass, like a mirror, reflecting the stars above. You kneel beside the pond and look at your reflection. But it's not quite you. It's a calmer version of you, a more peaceful version, a well-rested version, the version you'll be tomorrow after a good night's sleep. That future you smiles, encouraging, supportive, saying without words, "It's okay, let go, I'll be here waiting for you in the morning." But right now, sleep. You reach out to touch the water. The moment your finger breaks the surface, ripples spread out, concentric circles, growing larger, moving outward, carrying tension away, carrying stress away, carrying wakefulness away. The pond begins to glow, soft blue light from beneath the surface. It pulses gently, like a heartbeat, like breathing, like the lights in the halls of the great tomb. You feel drawn to the water, not to enter it, but to be near it, to absorb its peace, to let its calm flow into you. You lie down beside the pond, on soft moss that's like nature's mattress. You look up at the stars through the gap in the trees. They twinkle, they pulse, they dance, and they sing. A song without words or melody. A song without words or melody. A song that's more feeling than sound. A song of the universe, of existence, of being. A song that says, you are part of us. You are made of stardust. You are ancient and new. You are infinite and finite. You are exactly what you should be. Ainz's voice continues, but it's distant now, as if coming from far away. Or maybe from inside your own mind. It doesn't matter which. The traveler lay by the pond, the voice says, and felt peace for the first time in long time. Not the peace of having nothing to do, but the peace of accepting everything as it is. The peace of surrender, the peace of trust. Trust. Yes, you can trust this moment. You can trust this process. You can trust that sleep will come when it comes, and that it's okay if it takes time. There's no rush, no pressure, just invitation. The traveler's breathing slowed, Ainz says. In, out, each breath a little deeper than the last, each breath releasing a little more tension. Your breathing slows, matching the travelers, becoming the travelers, becoming the travelers. You are the traveler. Their muscles relaxed, starting with the face. The tiny muscles around the eyes letting go, the jaw unclenching, the tongue resting softly in the mouth, the forehead smoothing. You feel it happening. Your face relaxes. All those tiny muscles that you didn't even know were tense, releasing, softening, letting go. Then the neck and shoulders, dropping, releasing, letting the earth hold them, trusting the support beneath them. Your neck relaxes, your shoulders drop. All that weight, all that carrying, released. The earth holds you. The bed holds you. You don't have to hold yourself anymore. The arms become heavy, pleasantly heavy. Too heavy to move, too relaxed to bother moving, just resting, just being. Your arms are heavy, so heavy, sinking into the mattress, resting completely. The chest expands and contracts, breathing, just breathing. The heart beats steadily, constantly, reliably. You don't have to think about it. Your body knows what to do. Your breath flows naturally. Your heart beats naturally. Your body is taking care of you. Your body is taking care of you. Your body is taking care of you. You can trust it. The stomach softens. The lower back releases. The hips let go. The legs become heavy, so heavy. From thighs to knees to calves to ankles to feet to toes. All heavy, all relaxed, all at peace. Your whole body is relaxed now, completely. totally. Every muscle at rest, every part of you supported and held and safe. And the mind, Ain says softly, the mind begins to quiet. Thoughts come, yes, but they don't stick. They float by like clouds in the sky. You notice them, but you don't engage. They drift on, and another comes, and drifts on, and another, and drifts on. Your thoughts are slowing, becoming dreamlike, disconnected, floating. It's okay. This is how it should be. The traveler felt themselves drifting, not falling, but floating, gently, softly, like a leaf on a stream, moving with the current, no effort needed, just allowing. You're drifting too. You can feel it, that gentle pull, that soft current, carrying you toward sleep, toward dreams, toward rest. They knew they were safe. The guardians watched over them. The kingdom protected them. Nothing could harm them here. They could let go completely. And so they did. You are safe, so safe, protected, watched over. You can let go completely, finally, totally. And as they drifted deeper into rest, deeper into peace, deeper into sleep, they heard one last whisper from Ainz, from the guardians, from the kingdom itself, from the universe. You listen for that whisper. You wait for those words. Sleep well, dear traveler. Sleep well. Sleep well, sleep well, sleep well. The words echo softly, growing quieter, fading into the distance, into silence, into peace. You are in that place now, that place between waking and sleeping, that threshold, that border. One more breath and you'll cross over, one more moment and you'll let go. The bed holds you, the covers warm you, the darkness surrounds you. The silence fills you, and somewhere in the great tomb the guardians continue their watch. Albedo tends her garden, Cocytus meditates, Demiurge reads, Shaltair dreams, Aura and Mare listen to the forest, and Ainz sits on his throne, watching over all, ensuring peace, maintaining safety, holding space for rest. If you're still awake, that's okay too. There's no pressure. No expectation. Just continue breathing, continue relaxing, continue being present in this moment. Let's return to the peaceful kingdom. Let's continue our journey into rest. The traveler sleeps beside the pond, but their journey through the realm of peace continues. Because in this magical place, sleep itself is an adventure. Not an adventure of action or excitement, but an adventure of healing, of processing, of becoming whole. As the traveler sleeps, their consciousness drifts to a new part of the kingdom, a place where memories are kept, not painful memories or difficult ones. Those are stored elsewhere, locked away safely where they cannot disturb. This place holds only the good memories, the peaceful ones, the ones that bring comfort. Picture a vast library, but instead of books on shelves, there are glowing orbs. Each orb contains a memory. They float gently in the air, moving slowly like bubbles. Some are bright, some are dim, some are large, some are small, but all are beautiful. The traveler walks among the orbs. They reach out and touch one. Immediately, they're transported into the memory. They're a child again. It's summer. They're lying in grass, looking up at clouds. The sun is warm on their skin. The grass is soft beneath them. They have no responsibilities, no worries, no concerns. Just this moment, just the sky, just the clouds. They watch the clouds drift by. That one looks like a rabbit. That one looks like a ship. That one doesn't look like anything in particular, and that's fine too. It's just a cloud. Being a cloud, perfect in its cloudness. Time doesn't exist here. Or rather, it exists differently. Minutes stretch into hours. Hours compress into seconds. It doesn't matter. There's nowhere to be, nothing to do. Just clouds and sky and grass and sun. The warmth of the sun soaks into their skin, into their muscles, into their bones. It's healing warmth, restorative warmth, the kind of warmth that makes everything feel okay. A breeze moves across the grass. It carries the scent of flowers, wildflowers, growing nearby, not planted by anyone, just growing because that's what flowers do, because life wants to bloom, because beauty wants to exist. The traveler breathes in that scent, sweet, natural, pure. It fills their lungs, their blood, their whole being with peace. They close their eyes there in the memory lying in the grass, and they feel held by the earth, by the moment, by existence itself. They are a child again, and the world is safe, and everything is exactly as it should be. The memory fades gently. The traveler is back in the library of orbs. They feel refreshed, lighter. As if some small burden they didn't know they were carrying has been lifted. They touch another orb. Another memory blooms. This time they're sitting by a fire. It's evening. Maybe it's a campfire. Maybe it's a fireplace. The specifics don't matter. What matters is the feeling. The feeling of warmth, of safety, of being somewhere that feels like home. Someone is with them. You can't quite see who. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe it's family. Maybe it's someone you haven't met yet, or someone you've lost. But they're there, and their presence is comforting. You don't talk. You don't need to. You just sit together, watching the fire. The flames dance. Orange and yellow and red. They create patterns, random, chaotic, yet somehow beautiful, somehow mesmerizing. The fire pops occasionally, small explosions, tiny sparks that rise up and disappear. Here, then gone. Here, then gone. Like thoughts, like worries, appearing, then disappearing into nothing. The warmth of the fire reaches you. You feel it on your face, your hands. It's the kind of warmth that makes you sleepy. The kind of warmth that makes your eyelids heavy. The kind of warmth that invites rest. You lean back. You're sitting in something comfortable. A chair, a log, a cushion, something that supports you. You let it support you. You let yourself be held. The person beside you shifts slightly. You feel their contentment, their peace. And it becomes your peace. Peace is contagious. Calm is contagious. Rest is contagious. The fire burns lower. The flames grow smaller. The light gets dimmer. But the warmth remains. Always the warmth, always the comfort, always the safety. Your eyes close in the memory, and you sit there by the fire in the company of peace, and you are content, completely, totally, absolutely content. The memory releases you gently. You're back among the orbs. You feel even lighter now, even more at peace. Your breathing has slowed even more. Your body has relaxed even more. You are sinking deeper into rest. You reach for another orb, but before you can touch it, a voice speaks. It's Albedo. She's there in the library with you, though you didn't notice her arrive. The memories are beautiful, aren't they? She says softly. Her voice is like music, gentle, melodic, soothing. You nod. Yes, they are beautiful. These are the memories your soul keeps close, she explains. The ones that nourish you. The ones that remind you that life has been good and can be good again. That you've experienced peace before and will experience it again. You understand, these memories are gifts, from your past to your present, from who you were to who you are. Come, Albedo says, extending a hand. Let me show you something else. You take her hand. It's warm, soft, gentle, like holding a flower petal. You walk together through the library, past countless orbs, each one a moment of peace, a memory of joy, a fragment of contentment. You exit the library through a door that wasn't there before, or maybe it was always there and you just didn't see it. In this place, things appear when you need them. when you're ready for them. The door opens onto a garden, but not the garden you saw before where Albedo tends the flowers. This is a different garden. This is the garden of possibilities. Here, plants grow that represent potential futures, not definite futures, not predetermined paths, just possibilities, gentle possibilities, peaceful possibilities. There's a tree that represents a future where you've solved that problem that's been bothering you. You don't see how you solved it. You don't see the steps you took. You just see that it's solved. And you're okay. You're more than okay. You're thriving. There's a flower that represents a future where you've found the rest you need, where sleep comes easily, where you wake refreshed, where energy flows naturally through your day. There's a vine that represents a future where you've let go of what no longer serves you, where you've released the burdens that aren't yours to carry, where you've chosen peace over perfection. These futures are all possible, Albedo says. They're not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. But they're possible. And possibility is a powerful thing. You walk among the plants. You don't touch them. You just observe them, acknowledge them. Let them remind you that tomorrow holds potential. That change is possible. That rest leads to renewal. A butterfly lands on your shoulder. Its wings are iridescent, blue and green and purple. It sits there, completely trusting, completely calm. Its wings open and close slowly. Open, close, open, close, like breathing, like a heartbeat. You stand very still. You don't want to disturb it. You just want to share this moment with it, this small, delicate creature, this being of transformation, because that's what butterflies are. Transformation made visible. From caterpillar to cocoon to butterfly, from one form to another, from earthbound to airborne, you are transforming too, right now, in this moment. From awake to asleep, from tense to relaxed, from worried to peaceful, it's happening gradually, naturally, perfectly. The butterfly lifts off, it circles you once, twice, 3 times, then it flies away toward the sunset. Because there's always a sunset in this garden, always a soft, warm light, always the feeling of day ending and night beginning. Albedo guides you to a bench. You sit together. The bench faces the sunset. You watch as the light changes, from bright to dim, from yellow to orange to red to purple to blue, to indigo to violet to deep, deep blue, almost black, but not quite. Still holding just a hint of light, stars begin to appear. One, then another, then too many to count. They fill the sky, these ancient lights, these distant suns, these reminders of vastness. When my Lord Ainz first created this kingdom, Albedo says quietly, he wanted it to be a place of perfect peace, a place where all who entered could find rest. He built it stone by stone, room by room, guardian by guardian, each element designed with care, each detail considered, all in service of one goal: peace. You listen. Her words flow like water, constant, smooth, soothing. He knew that beings need rest, she continues, that even the strongest warrior needs to lay down their sword, that even the wisest scholar needs to close their books, that even the most dedicated caretaker needs to be cared for. Rest is not weakness. Rest is wisdom. Yes, you know this is true. You feel it in your bones. Your body has been trying to tell you. Your mind has been trying to tell you. And now, finally, you're listening. The kingdom itself breathes, Albedo says. Can you feel it? The slow rise and fall, the earth inhaling, the earth exhaling, all of existence breathing together. You focus. You extend your awareness beyond yourself, And yes, you can feel it. The subtle movement, the planet breathing, and you're breathing with it, part of it, connected to it. Everything that lives must rest, Albedo says. The trees rest in winter, the bears rest in hibernation, the land rests between harvests. Even the sun rests, sinking below the horizon each night. Rest is not the absence of life, rest is the foundation of life. Her words settle into you, finding places inside you that needed to hear them, filling empty spaces, soothing rough edges. You sit together in silence for a while, watching the stars, breathing with the earth, being present in the infinite now. Eventually, Albedo stands. "Come," she says, "there are others who wish to guide you tonight." You stand. Your body feels different now, lighter, more fluid, less solid, as if you're becoming dreamlike yourself, transitioning from physical to ethereal, from wake to sleep. You walk together through the garden. The plants whisper as you pass. Not words, just sounds, rustling, soft, like they're acknowledging you, like they're blessing your journey. You come to a fountain. Water flows from the center, cascading down in levels, eventually pooling at the bottom before somehow cycling back to the top. Eternal flow, constant movement. Yet always the same, always balanced, always perfect. Cocytus stands beside the fountain. His massive form is still, but his presence is gentle. He nods to Albedo. She nods back. A silent understanding passes between them. "I will leave you here," Albedo says to you. "Cocytus will guide you next. Trust him. Trust the journey. Trust yourself." She walks away, disappearing into the garden. You're alone with Cocytus, or not alone, present with Cocytus, held by his calm energy. He doesn't speak for a long time. He just stands there, listening to the fountain. So you listen too. The water has a voice. It speaks in rushing, in trickling, in splashing. It speaks in rhythm and flow. It tells a story without plot or character. It tells the story of movement, of cycle, of return. Finally, Cocytus speaks. His voice is deep, resonant, like a cello, like thunder in the distance, like the earth itself speaking. "Stillness," he says, just that one word, letting it hang in the air, letting it be absorbed. "Stillness is not emptiness," he continues after a pause. "Stillness is fullness. Stillness is everything happening at once, so perfectly balanced that it appears as nothing. You don't fully understand, but that's okay. Understanding isn't required, only listening, only being open." When you meditate, Cocytus says, you don't stop thinking. Thoughts continue, but you don't engage with them. You observe them, you acknowledge them. You let them pass, like clouds, like water in this fountain, flowing, moving, but you remain still, you remain centered, you remain you. He gestures to the fountain. "Sit," he says, "be still with me." You sit on the edge of the fountain. The stone is cool against your legs, solid, real, grounding. Cocytus sits across from you. He closes his eyes. His breathing becomes visible, not because you can see it, but because you can feel it. Each breath a wave of energy, calm energy, still energy. You close your eyes too. You match your breathing to his. In, slow and deep. Hold, just for a moment. Out, even slower. Again, in, hold, out. Again, in, hold, out. Again, in, hold, out. Your mind starts to quiet. Not silent, not empty, just quieter. The volume turned down. The chatter becoming background noise, present but not dominant. You sit in stillness, you breathe in stillness, you exist in stillness. Time passes. How much, you don't know. It doesn't matter. Time is flexible here. Subjective, irrelevant. Thoughts arise. What if I can't sleep tonight? There it is. That familiar worry. Acknowledge it. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Don't engage with it. Just observe it. Oh, there's that thought again. I see you. And let it pass, like a cloud, like water, flowing on. Another thought. I have so much to do tomorrow. Acknowledge it. Yes, that's true. I see you. Let it pass. Tomorrow will come whether you worry about it or not. Right now, in this moment, there's nothing to do. Just be. Another thought. I'm not good at relaxing. Acknowledge it. Yes, I hear you. Let it pass. You're learning. You're practicing. That's enough. Each thought that arises, you greet it like an old friend. Hello, anxiety. I know you. Thank you for trying to protect me, but I don't need you right now. You can rest too. And it passes. Hello, to-do list. I know you're important, but not now. Later, rest now. And it passes. Hello, self-doubt. I know you're trying to keep me safe by making me cautious, but you're safe here. I'm safe here. Rest. And it passes. The thoughts come less frequently. The gaps between them grow longer. In those gaps, there's just stillness. Just breath. Just being. You're still aware. Not asleep. But deeply relaxed. Suspended between states. This is good. This is healing. This is exactly what you need. After an eternity or a moment, you can't tell which. Cositus speaks again. You are learning stillness, he says. It will serve you well. In waking and in sleeping, in action and in rest. Stillness is always available to you, always within you. Return to it whenever you need. Return to it whenever you need. You open your eyes. The world seems softer now. The edges less sharp, the colors more muted, everything gentler. Cositus stands. Come, he says. The night is not over. There is more to see, more to experience, more to let go of. You follow him, away from the fountain, through a gate, into a new area of the kingdom. This place is darker, not frightening dark, not frightening dark. Comforting dark, like being under a blanket, like being in a cocoon, safe, protected, held. The path ahead glows faintly, just enough light to see where to step, just enough to not feel lost. You follow the path, follow Cositus, follow the gentle pull toward deeper rest. You hear music, faint, distant, coming from somewhere ahead. It's not quite music, it's more like tones. Humming, singing bowls, frequencies that vibrate not just in your ears but in your whole body. The sound grows gradually louder as you walk. Not intrusive, not overwhelming, just more present, more enveloping. You arrive at a chamber. It's round, domed, the ceiling is high and curved, and from every surface, sound emanates. Those tones, those frequencies, creating a bath of sound, an ocean of vibration. In the center of the chamber stands Demiurge. He holds a bowl, a singing bowl. He runs a mallet around the rim, and it produces a clear, pure tone that seems to last forever, fading so gradually you can't tell when it stops and silence begins. He sees you and Cositus enter. He smiles. Not his scheming smile you might know from legends. This is a genuine smile, warm, welcoming, kind. Welcome, he says. Welcome to the chamber of sound. Here, we use vibration to release what the body holds, to loosen what is tight, to free what is stuck. He gestures around the room. There are other guardians here too. Order and Mare sit in one corner with instruments you don't recognize. Shalterra stands near a wall, hands pressed against it, eyes closed, feeling the vibrations. Please, Demiurge says, lie down, here in the center. Let the sound move through you. There's a mat on the floor, soft, cushioned. You lie down on it, on your back, arms at your sides, legs slightly apart, open, receptive. The guardians begin. Each one creates sound. Demiurge with his singing bowl, Aura with a drum, deep and resonant, Mare with chimes, high and clear. Shaltier begins to hum, a low drone that supports all the other sounds. The sounds aren't music, not a melody, not a song, just sound, pure sound, vibration, frequency, and you feel it in your body. In your chest, the vibrations of the drum. In your head, the vibrations of the chimes. In your bones, the vibrations of the hum. In your cells, the vibrations of the singing bowl. It's like a massage, but from the inside. The sound moves through you, finding places of tension, places of tightness, places where you've been holding stress or fear or worry. And gently, so gently, it loosens them, releases them, frees them. Your jaw unclenches. You didn't even know it was clenched, but the sound found it and released it. Your chest expands. Breathing becomes easier, deeper, fuller. The sound opens something there, some constriction you've been carrying. Your hips release, your lower back softens, your lower back softens, your legs grow heavier. The sound moves down through you, like water flowing downhill, carrying tension away, leaving peace behind. The sounds continue. They change slightly, different tones, different rhythms, but always harmonious, always working together, always in service of your rest. You lose track of time. You lose track of where you end and the sound begins. You are vibration. You are frequency. You are energy taking the form of a body, but remembering that underneath, you are energy. You are light. You are sound. The sounds begin to fade. Gradually, slowly, like the sun setting, like the tide receding, until there's just silence. But it's not empty silence, it's full silence, rich silence. Silence that holds the echo of all the sound that came before. Silence that is alive with possibility. You lie there in the silence. You don't want to move. You don't need to move. You are complete. You are whole. You are at peace. Demiurge speaks, his voice barely above a whisper. The sound has done its work. You are clearer now, lighter, more aligned, lighter, more aligned. The path to sleep is open. The way is clear. You open your eyes. The chamber seems to glow. Or maybe you're glowing. Maybe everything is glowing. Maybe this is what peace looks like. This is what calm feels like. This is what readiness for sleep is. You sit up slowly. Your body moves fluidly, easily, like water, like air, like something not quite solid. Mare approaches, shy, gentle. They hold out a small flower, blue, simple, beautiful. For you, they whisper, to remember, to carry, to hold. You take the flower. It's real and not real, physical and metaphorical. It's a symbol, a reminder, a gift. What does it mean, you ask? Mare smiles. It means you are worthy of peace. You are deserving of rest. You are deserving of rest. You are enough, exactly as you are. Tears might come. That's okay. They're not sad tears. They're release tears, grateful tears, relief tears. Aura joins their sibling. We'll walk with you to the next place, they say, if you're ready. Are you ready? You check in with yourself. How do you feel? Relaxed, calm, sleepy? Yes, yes, you're ready. You stand. The twins flank you, one on each side. Shalter, Demiurge and Cocytus remain in the chamber, but they bow slightly as you leave, honoring you, honoring your journey, honoring your courage to seek rest. The twins lead you outside. You're back in the forest, but it's nighttime now. Proper night, deep night, the kind of night where the world sleeps. The trees are dark silhouettes against a star-filled sky. The air is cool, not cold, refreshing, cleansing. You breathe it in. It tastes like pine, like earth, like night itself. Our forest is a place of natural rhythm, Aura explains as you walk. Everything here follows the cycle. Day and night, waking and sleeping, activity and rest, growth and dormancy, life and death and life again. You walk along a soft path, moss, pine needles, dirt. Your feet make almost no sound. You move like a ghost, like a dream, like something between worlds. Humans often fight these rhythms, Mare adds. They try to be productive all the time, active all the time, achieving all the time. But that's not how nature works. Nature knows that rest is part of the cycle. Rest is when integration happens, when growth solidifies, when healing occurs. You pass by trees. Some are awake in a sense, alive and present. Some are sleeping, dormant for the winter. Both are perfect. Both are exactly as they should be. You come to a stream, the one from before perhaps, or a different one. Water all comes from the same source, flows to the same sea. Individual streams, but ultimately one water. You kneel beside the stream. You cup your hands. You gather water. You drink. It's cool, pure, clean. It flows down your throat, into your stomach, into your bloodstream, into your cells. Hydrating, nourishing, cleansing. The water remembers, Aura says. It's been rain. It's been snow. It's been ice. It's been ice. It's been ice. It's been cloud. It's been ocean. It's been plant. It's been animal. It's been you in other lifetimes, other forms. It knows. It remembers. It carries wisdom. You drink more water. You let that wisdom flow into you. The wisdom of adaptation, of transformation, of letting go of one form to become another, of trusting the cycle, of surrendering to flow. You stand. You continue walking. The twins are quiet now. Just present. Just company. Just gentle guides on this journey into night. You see lights ahead, not artificial, natural. Fireflies, hundreds of them, thousands. They blink on and off, creating a pattern. Or maybe creating randomness. It doesn't matter. They're beautiful. They're magical. They're perfect. You walk among them. They don't flee. They accept your presence. You are part of the night, part of the forest, part of the cycle. One lands on your finger. Its light pulses. On, off, like breathing, like a heartbeat, like the rhythm of existence itself. You watch it for a long moment, then it flies away, back to its dance, back to its night, back to its night, back to its purpose, which is simply to be. To exist, to glow. That's all any of us need to do, Mare says softly. Just be, just exist, just glow in our own way. The universe asks nothing more of us. You understand? You don't have to be anything other than what you are. You don't have to achieve anything more than breathing, existing, being. Everything else is extra. Everything else is choice. But this being, this is essential. And it's enough. The twins lead you to a treehouse, built into a massive oak, solid, safe, elevated, between earth and sky, between root and leaf, between foundation and flight. This is where we sleep, Aura says. We'd like to share it with you, if you're willing. You nod. Yes, you're willing. You're ready. You're tired. And in the best way, you climb a ladder. wooden rungs. Smooth, easy, one step at a time, higher, higher, until you reach a platform. The treehouse is simple, open to the air but sheltered by branches. There are beds, hammocks, cushions, all inviting, all calling to you. You choose a hammock. It sways gently as you climb in, supporting you, cradling you, rocking you like a baby, like someone deeply loved, like someone worthy of care. The twins settle into their own sleeping spaces. The forest sounds surround you, crickets, an owl, wind through leaves, the stream in the distance, all blending into a natural symphony. White noise, perfect noise, sleep noise. You close your eyes. The hammock sways gently, back and forth, back and forth. A rhythm, a rocking, a lullaby without words. You feel yourself letting go, finally, completely, totally. The journey has brought you here, to this moment, to this hammock, to this edge, the edge between waking and sleeping, and you're ready to tip over, ready to fall, ready to let go. The stars shine above, through the branches, between the leaves, ancient light, distant suns. Reminders that you are part of something vast, something infinite, something that holds you even when you can't hold yourself. Mere whispers from somewhere nearby. Sleep well, traveler. Dream well, rest well. Tomorrow is another day, but tonight, just sleep, just rest, just be. And Aura adds, we're here, we're watching, you're safe. Let go, let go, let go. Let go, let go, let go. Let go, let go. Your body is heavy, sinking into the hammock, supported completely, held entirely. Your mind is quiet, just a few scattered thoughts, like fireflies, blinking on, blinking off, growing fewer, growing dimmer. Your breath is slow, in, out, automatic, natural, perfect. You are drifting, floating, flying, 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 falling, rising. It's all the same now, movement without direction, being without effort. You are at the threshold, the border, the edge. One more breath, one more moment, one more letting go. Sleep, sleep, sleep. You are floating now, between sleep and wake, between conscious and unconscious, between here and the dream world. This is the most peaceful place, this liminal space, this threshold. Stay here as long as you need. There's no rush to cross completely over. Just float, just drift, just be. The hammock rocks gently. The forest breathes around you. The night holds you in its dark, soft arms. You are safe. You are held. You are home. In your dreamlike state, you become aware of a presence. Not startling, not intrusive, just there, gentle, watching, caring. You open your eyes, but not really. Your physical eyes remain closed. But some other eyes, inner eyes, dream eyes, they open. And you see Ian standing near your hammock. His robes move slightly in the night breeze. His amber eyes glow softly like embers, like the last light of day. I've been waiting for you, he says quietly, waiting for you to reach this place. You want to respond, but words feel far away, unnecessary. He understands without them. I have one more place to show you, Ainz continues. The final place, the deepest place, the place where true rest lives. Will you come with me? You nod, or think you nod. Movement is strange here. You intend to nod, and somehow that's enough. Ainz extends his hand. You take it, and suddenly you're standing beside the hammock, looking down at your body, still lying there, still breathing, still resting. You're having an out-of-body experience, but it doesn't frighten you. It feels natural, right? Like you're supposed to be in two places at once. Don't worry, Ain says, noticing your attention. Your body is safe. It's resting, healing, processing. This part of you, the consciousness part, can travel, can explore, can experience. When we're done, you'll return, and sleep will come easily, naturally, completely. You trust him. You trust this process. You trust yourself. Ains leads you away from the treehouse. But you're not walking. You're floating, drifting, moving through space without effort. It's effortless, weightless, free. You pass through the forest. The trees seem more than trees now. They seem conscious, aware. They nod to you as you pass, blessing you, acknowledging your journey. You pass by the stream. It glows now, phosphorescent, like liquid light. It flows upstream and downstream simultaneously. Because in this realm, in this state, normal rules don't apply. Water can flow both ways. Time can move forwards and backwards. Anything is possible. You rise up above the forest canopy. The trees below look like a dark ocean, waves of leaves rippling in the wind. Above you, the stars are closer, brighter, reachable. You could touch them if you wanted. They sing, these stars. High, clear notes, a celestial choir, the music of the spheres, the sound of existence itself. You continue rising, higher, higher, leaving the kingdom below. But not really leaving, you're still connected. A silver thread runs from your consciousness here to your body in the hammock. You can feel it, thin but unbreakable. You're tethered, safe. You can't get lost. You rise above the clouds. They're not obstacles. You pass through them like mist. They're cool against your dream body, refreshing, cleansing, washing away the last remnants of tension, of worry, of wakefulness. You emerge above the clouds into a realm of pure light, not harsh light, not bright light, soft light, gentle light. The light of dawn, but eternal dawn, never becoming full day, just staying in that perfect moment of beginning. Irons floats beside you. This is the upper realm, he says, the place of pure consciousness, pure awareness, pure peace. Few beings reach this place, but you're ready. You've done the work. You've released. You've let go. You've surrendered. Now you get to experience this. You look around. There's no ground here, no sky, just light, just space, just infinite presence. Other beings float here too. You can't quite see them clearly. They're made of light themselves, glowing forms, peaceful presences. Some might be other dreamers, other travelers. Some might be guides, angels, spirits, whatever you want to call them. Names don't matter here. Only essence matters. One of these light beings approaches. It communicates without words. You feel its message rather than hear it. Welcome, beloved soul. Welcome to the place of rest. Here, all burdens are lifted. Here, all pain dissolves. Here, only love exists. Only peace. Only perfect, complete, unconditional rest. You feel tears, though you don't have physical eyes to cry with. They're tears of relief, of recognition, of coming home to a place you never knew you left. The light being embraces you, or you embrace it, or you become it. The boundaries are unclear. You merge, you blend, you become one with this presence of pure peace. And in that merging, you understand something profound. You understand that you are not separate, not from this being, not from Ainz, not from the guardians, not from the forest, not from the earth, not from the stars, not from anything. You are all of it, and all of it is you. You are one consciousness experiencing itself through infinite forms. And right now, you're experiencing rest. You're experiencing peace. You're experiencing the truth that you are safe, you are loved, you are enough, you are home. The light being releases you gently. You're separate again, individual again, but you remember. You remember the connection, you remember the truth, and that memory will comfort you, now and always. Ains speaks. This is what I wanted you to experience, this knowing, this remembering. So that even when you return to your waking life, to your daily struggles, to your challenges and worries, you can remember this. You can remember that underneath all of it, you are this. Peace, love, light, rest. That's your true nature. Everything else is temporary. Everything else is illusion. This is real. This is true. This is eternal. You absorb his words. Not into your mind, into your being, into your cells, into your soul. They become part of you, part of your foundation, part of your knowing. Now, Ein says, it's time to descend, to return, to complete the journey. Your body is calling you. It's ready for deep sleep now, real sleep, healing sleep, the kind of sleep you wake from transformed. You nod. You're ready. You've seen what you needed to see. You've experienced what you needed to experience. You've remembered what you needed to remember. Now you can sleep, truly sleep. You begin to descend, slowly, gradually, like a feather falling, like snow drifting down, like a leaf released from a tree, surrendering to gravity, trusting the fall. You pass through the realm of light. It fades gradually, not disappearing, just becoming less immediate, less present, moving from foreground to background, but still there, always there, waiting for you to return whenever you need it. You descend through the clouds. They embrace you, welcome you back. You're returning to the world of form, the world of matter, the world of physical existence, and that's good. That's right. That's where you belong right now. You see the kingdom below, the great tomb, the forest, the treehouse, your body in the hammock. The silver thread pulls you gently downward, guiding you home, bringing you back. You descend through the forest canopy. The leaves whisper greetings. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You hover above your body. You look at it. It looks so peaceful, so relaxed, so ready for sleep. That's your body, your home, your vessel, your friend. It's been carrying you through life, working for you, supporting you. And now it needs rest, and you can give it that rest. You merge back with your body. It's like putting on a comfortable coat, like stepping into a warm bath, like coming home after a long journey. You fit. You belong. You are one again. Your physical eyes remain closed. Your physical body remains relaxed. But now your consciousness is fully present, fully embodied, fully ready to sleep. Ain's voice comes from somewhere near, or maybe from inside you, or maybe from everywhere at once. Sleep now, dear traveler. Sleep deeply. Sleep completely. Sleep peacefully. You are safe. You are protected. The guardians watch over you. The kingdom holds you. The universe supports you. Let go now. Let go completely. Sleep. And you do. You let go. Finally. Completely. Totally. Absolutely. Your breath deepens. Slows. Becomes the breath of sleep. Automatic. Perfect. Requiring no thought. Your body becomes impossibly heavy, sinking, melting, merging with the hammock, with the earth, with existence itself. Your mind grows quiet, thoughts cease, or they continue, but so far away you don't notice them. Like distant traffic, like neighbors in another apartment. Present but not your concern, not your problem, not your focus. You are falling now, not down, just falling. Into sleep, into dreams, into sleep. And it's not scary. It's not unpleasant. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It's exactly what you need. You fall through layers, each layer deeper than the last, each layer more restful than the last. Light sleep. You're barely asleep, still aware of sounds, still aware of your body, still on the surface, but you're asleep. You've crossed that threshold. You've made it. Good, good, good. Keep going. Deeper now. Medium sleep. Sounds fade. Body awareness diminishes. You're somewhere else now. Not quite the waking world. Not quite the dream world. In between. Transitioning. Moving. Traveling. Deeper still. Deep sleep. This is where healing happens. Where growth hormone releases. Where cells repair. Where memories consolidate. Where memories consolidate. Where memories consolidate. Where emotions process. Your body knows what to do. Your mind knows what to do. They're working together, taking care of you, healing you, restoring you. You don't have to do anything. Just sleep. Just rest. Just be. And deeper still, the deepest sleep. The place beyond dreams. The place of pure rest. The place where consciousness itself rests, where even awareness takes a break. Where you cease to be you and become everything and nothing. Where you dissolve into the universal consciousness. Where you remember again that you are not separate, that you are one, that you are home. Time passes. How much? Impossible to say. In deep sleep, time doesn't exist, or it exists differently. Minutes are hours, hours are seconds. It doesn't matter. You're outside of time, beyond time, in the eternal now, and in that deep, deep sleep you dream. But these aren't normal dreams. These are the dreams that come from the deepest place, the dreams that heal, the dreams that teach, the dreams that integrate. You dream of flying, soaring over landscapes of impossible beauty, mountains that touch the sky, oceans that stretch to infinity, forests that breathe, cities that sing. You fly with ease, with joy, with freedom. This is your soul remembering that it's not bound by physical limitations, that it's infinite, eternal, free. You dream of water, swimming in warm, clear water, floating on your back, looking up at the sky. Diving deep, exploring underwater caves filled with bioluminescent creatures. The water holds you, supports you. You can breathe underwater here. You are part of the water, and the water is part of you. This is your soul remembering fluidity, adaptability, flow. You dream of light. You are made of light. You radiate light. You are a star, burning bright, giving warmth. Great, giving warmth. Giving life, giving hope to all who see you. But you're not burning out. You're not consuming yourself. You're connected to an infinite source. Energy flows through you endlessly. This is your soul remembering its true nature, that you are not just a body. You are light. You are energy. You are consciousness itself. You dream of love, being held by someone who loves you completely, unconditionally, without judgment, without expectation, without need. Just pure love, pure acceptance, pure recognition of your inherent worth. You feel safe, cherished, valued, seen, known, loved. This is your soul remembering that you are lovable, that you are worthy, that you are worthy, that you are enough, always worthy, always loved. The dreams continue, shifting, changing, flowing from one to another, each one a gift, each one a healing, each one a remembering, and underneath all the dreams, underneath the layers of sleep, your body works. Repairing, restoring, renewing. Cells divide and replace damaged cells. Toxins are cleared from your brain. Memories are filed away. Emotions are processed. Hormones are balanced. Your immune system strengthens. Your nervous system calms. Your cardiovascular system rests and recovers. Your digestive system heals. Your muscular system rebuilds. Every system in your body is working in harmony, taking care of you, loving you, supporting you. Time continues to pass. The night deepens. The stars wheel overhead. The moon rises and sets, the earth turns, the universe expands, and through it all, you sleep, you rest, you heal, you dream, you are. In the treehouse, the twins sleep too, their breathing synchronized with yours. 3 beings, 3 bodies, but 1 breath, 1 rest, 1 peace. In the various chambers of the great tomb, the other guardians rest as well, each in their own way. Albedo lies among her flowers. Cocytus sits in meditation, but even he sleeps in his way. Demiurge dozes in his chair, book on his lap. Shalteri dreams her deep vampire dreams, and Ainz in his throne room sits and watches over all. He doesn't sleep, he doesn't need to, but he rests nonetheless. He finds peace in watching over his kingdom, in ensuring that all within are safe, are peaceful, are resting well. He thinks of you, the traveler who came seeking rest. He's glad you found it, glad you were brave enough to seek it, glad you were open enough to receive it. He sends you a blessing, wordless, formless, just energy, just intention. Sleep well. Dream well, wake restored. The blessing reaches you in your deep sleep. You don't consciously perceive it, but some part of you receives it, accepts it, is nourished by it. You sleep a little deeper. You rest a little more completely. You heal a little more thoroughly. The night continues, hour after hour, second by second, breath by breath, beat by beat. And with each moment, you are restored a little more. You become a little more whole. You return a little more to yourself, your true self, your rested self, your peaceful self. Dreams come and go. Some you'll remember in the morning, some will fade upon waking. Some will sink into your subconscious, influencing you in ways you'll never consciously recognize. All of them are serving you. All of them are working for your highest good. You dream of the kingdom itself, walking through its halls, speaking with the guardians, learning from them. They teach you about peace, about rest, about letting go, about trust, about surrender, about acceptance, about self-compassion, about worthiness, about love. Each guardian offers a lesson, a gift, a piece of wisdom. Albedo teaches you that growth requires periods of rest, that flowers don't bloom constantly, that even the most beautiful garden has seasons of dormancy, and that's not failure, that's wisdom, that's nature, that's how life works. Cocytus teaches you that stillness is not weakness, that the strongest mountain sits in perfect stillness for millennia. That power comes not from constant movement, but from centered presence. From being fully here, fully now, fully yourself. Demiurge teaches you that there is beauty in simplicity, that you don't need to complicate everything, that sometimes the most profound truths are the simplest. Rest when you're tired, eat when you're hungry, drink when you're thirsty. Love because it's your nature, be because you are. Shaltir teaches you that there is magic in the threshold, that the space between waking and sleeping is a sacred space, a space where transformation happens, where healing occurs, where you can release what no longer serves you and embrace what does. Honor that space, respect it, use it. Aura and Mare teach you that you are part of nature, not separate from it, not above it, part of it, and as such you are subject to natural rhythms, day and night, activity and rest, growth and dormancy, life and death and life again. Fighting these rhythms causes suffering, accepting them brings peace, and Ainz teaches you the greatest lesson of all, that you are worthy of rest, not because of what you've accomplished, not because of what you've achieved, not because you've earned it, but simply because you exist, because you are. Rest is not a reward. Rest is a right. Rest is necessary. Rest is sacred, and you deserve it, always, forever, without question. These lessons sink deep into your sleeping consciousness. Deeper than thoughts, deeper than beliefs, down to the level of knowing, of truth, of absolute certainty. When you wake, you may not remember the specific lessons, but you'll feel different, changed, transformed. You'll know, without knowing how you know, that rest is okay, that you are okay, that everything is okay. The night begins to thin, dawn approaches. Not yet. Not for a while still, but the deepest dark has passed. The tide is turning, the world is preparing to wake, but not yet, not yet. You still have time. Time to sleep, time to rest, time to dream. Use it, savor it, enjoy it. Your body senses the coming dawn. Some ancient part of your brain, attuned to light and circadian rhythms, begins to prepare for waking, but slowly. Gradually, naturally. There's no alarm here, no jarring awakening, just a slow, gentle transition from sleeping to waking, from darkness to light, from rest to activity. But that transition is still hours away. For now, sleep. For now, rest. You cycle through sleep stages, up toward lighter sleep, then back down to deep sleep. This is natural. This is natural. This is how sleep works. Cycles, rhythms, like waves on a shore, coming in, going out, coming in, going out. You don't need to control it. You don't need to manage it. Just let your body do what it knows how to do. Trust it. It's been doing this since you were born. It knows the way. You dream of waking, but you're not actually waking. You're dreaming about waking. You're dreaming about waking. In the dream, you open your eyes, you stretch, you feel rested, completely rested, every cell in your body vibrating with energy, with life, with joy. You get up, you move through your day, everything is easy, everything flows, you're present, you're calm, you're capable, you're enough. This dream is a preview, a possibility, a potential future. The future that's available to you if you keep prioritizing rest, if you keep honoring your need for sleep, if you keep listening to your body, if you keep practicing these techniques. This future is real. This future is possible. This future is yours. The dream fades. You sink back into deeper sleep, back into the formless, back into pure rest. Good. That's good. You're not done yet. More healing to do, more processing, more restoration. Sleep on. Sleep on. In the kingdom, the guardians begin to stir, not waking, just stirring, shifting, adjusting, adjusting. Aura rolls over in their sleep. Mare mumbles something unintelligible. Albedo's breathing changes rhythm. Cositus's meditation deepens, somehow, impossibly. Demiurge's book slides off his lap, landing silently on the floor. Shaltir smiles in her sleep, dreaming of something pleasant. And you, in your hammock, you shift too, your body adjusting, finding an even more comfortable position. The hammock rocks gently with your movement, then settles. You settle too, back into stillness, back into peace, back into sleep. The stars begin to fade, not disappearing, just dimming as the sky prepares for dawn. They've kept watch all night, now their duty is almost done. The sun will take over, but not yet, not yet. There's still time. The forest breathes. A wind moves through the leaves. It carries the scent of morning, dew, earth, green growing things. But morning is not here yet. It's just a promise, just a whisper, just a hint. The night still holds, the darkness still protects, the silence still soothes. Your breathing is the breathing of deep sleep. Slow, regular, perfect. 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Your body has found its rhythm, its natural pace. This is the breath of healing, the breath of rest, the breath of peace. Your heart beats steadily, 50 beats per minute, 60, slow and strong, efficient, pumping life through your veins, delivering oxygen to your cells, removing waste, working tirelessly, working perfectly, working without your conscious input. Your body is so wise, so capable, so deserving of your trust. Your brain waves cycle, delta waves cycle, delta waves in deep sleep, the slowest waves, the most healing, then up to theta waves as you dream, then back down to delta, up and down, in and out, like breathing, like heartbeat, like the tides, like everything in nature, cycles, rhythms, patterns, reliable, trustworthy, true. You are doing exactly what you need to be doing. Right now, in this moment, this is perfect. This is enough. This is perfect. This is enough. This is everything. Sleep is not passive. Sleep is active healing, active restoration, active integration. You are doing important work right now. The most important work, taking care of yourself, restoring yourself, preparing yourself for tomorrow, for the next challenge, the next joy, the next experience. Whatever comes, you'll be ready. Because you're resting now. Because you're sleeping now. Because you're healing now. Iron stands from his throne. He walks through the quiet halls of the great tomb, checking on his guardians, ensuring all is well. He comes to the window that overlooks the forest. He sees the treehouse. He can't see you directly, but he can sense you, sense your presence, sense your peace. He smiles. Or his energy shifts in a way that feels like smiling. Rest well, traveler, he whispers into the night. You've done so well. You've been so brave, so open, so willing. Rest now. You've earned it, though you don't need to earn it. It's yours by right, yours by nature, yours by being. Rest, rest, rest. His blessing flows out from the great tomb, through the window. Across the forest, up to the treehouse, into your sleeping form, and you receive it. Some deep part of you receives it, and you sleep a little deeper, a little more completely, a little more perfectly. The night holds, time passes, unmeasured, uncounted, unnecessary to measure or count, just passing, just allowing sleep to do what sleep does. In your deepest sleep, you have no dreams, no thoughts, no awareness. You are consciousness at rest, awareness sleeping, the witness taking a break. This is the most restorative sleep, the most healing, the most important. Your body takes advantage of this, cranks up the repair work, produces more growth hormone, clears more waste from your brain, repairs more damage, builds more strength, stores more memories, processes more emotions, does all the 1,000 things it needs to do, all the things it can only do when you're asleep, when you're not interfering with your conscious mind, when you're not trying to control everything, when you're finally, blessedly, perfectly still. This is surrender, true surrender, not giving up, not quitting, but letting go, trusting, allowing, accepting. This is what you've been working toward. All the meditation, all the breath work, all the visualization, all the relaxation techniques, they were all preparing you for this complete letting go, for this total surrender, for this absolute trust. And you've done it. You're here. You've arrived. You're sleeping. Truly sleeping, deeply sleeping, perfectly sleeping. Congratulations. You did it. You let go. You trusted. You slept. And tomorrow, when you wake, you'll be different, changed, transformed. Not drastically, not obviously, but subtly, deeply, truly. You'll be more yourself, more rested, more whole, more capable, more present, more whole, more capable, more present, more alive, because you slept. Because you surrendered, because you trusted. The first birds begin to sing, far away, very far away, barely audible, but there. The heralds of dawn, the announcers of morning, but morning is still far off, still distant, still allowing you time to sleep, time to rest, time to heal. Don't worry about the birds. Don't worry about the dawn. Don't worry about the dawn. Don't worry about waking. That will take care of itself. For now, just sleep, just rest, just be. The sky lightens, imperceptibly, just a fraction, the deep black becoming slightly less deep, not blue yet, not even gray, just less black. The stars dim a little more. The moon, if visible, grows a little paler. The night is preparing to hand over today, but slowly, gradually, gently, giving you all the time you need. Your sleep begins to lighten, just slightly. Moving from the deepest sleep toward REM sleep, dream sleep. Your eyes begin to move beneath your closed lids. Rapid eye movements. Your brain activity increases slightly. You begin to dream again. You dream of the peaceful kingdom. You're saying goodbye to the guardians. They embrace you, each one, thanking you for visiting, for trusting them, for allowing them to serve you. You thank them too for their guidance, for their wisdom, for their care. Albedo gives you seeds from her garden. Plant these, she says, in your life, in your habits, in your daily routine. Seeds of peace, seeds of rest, seeds of self-care. Water them regularly. They'll grow and they'll bloom. And your life will be more beautiful for it. Cositus gives you a stone, smooth, cool, heavy. Hold this when you need to remember stillness, he says. When life gets chaotic, when you feel overwhelmed, hold this stone, feel its weight, its solidity, its stillness, and remember that you can be still too, that you have that power, that you have that power. Demiurge gives you a book, but when you open it, the pages are blank. This is for you to fill, he explains, with your own wisdom, your own experiences, your own truths. You are writing your own story. Make it a good one. Make it a peaceful one. Make it a true one. Shaltia gives you a vial. Inside is shimmering liquid. This is the essence of dreams, she says. When you can't sleep, when you're struggling, imagine drinking this. Imagine it flowing through you, bringing peace, bringing rest, bringing sleep. It's not real in a physical sense, but it's real in every other sense. Use it, it's yours. Aura and Mare give you a feather, light, delicate, perfect. This is from a bird that flies between worlds, they say together. Between waking and sleeping, between physical and spiritual, between here and there, like you are learning to do. Keep it as a reminder. You can move between states. You can transition. You can change. You're not stuck. You're not fixed. You're fluid. You're free. And Eins gives you the greatest gift of all. He gives you a mirror. Look, he says. What do you see? You look, he says. What do you see? You look. You see yourself, but not as you usually see yourself, not focusing on flaws or imperfections. You see yourself as the guardians see you, as Eins sees you, as the universe sees you. You see a being of light, a being of infinite worth, a being who deserves rest, deserves peace, deserves love, deserves everything good. You see your true self, your essential self, your essential self, your perfect self. Remember this, Eins says. When you wake, when you go back to your regular life, remember what you saw in this mirror. Remember who you really are. Not the tired person, not the stressed person, not the worried person. Those are temporary states. This, what you see here, this is who you truly are. Always, forever, eternally. But they're good tears. Healing tears, recognition tears. You understand, you see, you know. And you'll remember, maybe not consciously, maybe not all the time, but deep down, in the core of your being, you'll remember, and that will change everything. The guardians wave goodbye. You turn to leave the kingdom, to return to your body, to return to the waking world. You're not sad. You're not afraid, because you know you can come back anytime. In meditation, in rest, in sleep, the peaceful kingdom is always here, always accessible, always welcoming you home. You walk down the path, out of the great tomb, through the gates, into the forest. The morning light filters through the trees now, soft, golden, gentle. Quietly, respectfully, giving you the gradual awakening you need. You walk through the forest, back to your body, back to the hammock, back to the treehouse. You see yourself lying there, so peaceful, so relaxed, so ready to wake, but gently, slowly. In your own time, you hover above your body. You prepare to merge back, to become one again. But before you do, you take a moment. You look around, you take it all in, the forest, the light, the peace. You breathe, you feel, you experience, you remember. Then, gently, softly, perfectly, you descend, you merge, you become one with your body again, physical and spiritual reuniting, complete, whole, integrated. You don't wake yet, not fully. You don't wake yet, not fully. You're in that threshold space again, aware but still sleeping, resting but beginning to return. This is fine, this is perfect, this is natural. Take your time. There's no rush. You become aware of your body, your breath, your heartbeat, the hammock beneath you, the cool morning air on your skin, the sounds of the forest, the birds, the breeze, the stream, all of it. Life. Beautiful life. You wiggle your toes, just slightly, gently bringing movement back into your body, not forcing, not rushing, just inviting. Your toes respond. Good. That's good. You take a deeper breath. Your chest expands, fills with air, with life, with energy. You exhale slowly, releasing the last remnants of sleep, the last traces of the dream world. Preparing to fully return to the waking world, you swallow. Your mouth is dry. That's normal. That's okay. Water awaits. Soon, when you're ready, you move your fingers, opening and closing your hands, feeling the sensation, the tingling, the aliveness, your body waking up, coming back online, returning to full function. You become more aware of sounds, of sensations, of thoughts beginning to form. Your mind is waking up too, not with anxiety, not with dread, but with peace, with readiness, with quiet anticipation for the day ahead. You're not fully awake yet, still in between, still transitioning, and that's fine. Honor this process. This is sacred time, the transition from sleep to wake. Give it the respect it deserves. Don't rush it. Don't skip it. Be present with it. You stretch, just a little, your muscles extending, your joints articulating. It feels good. It feels right. Your body is thanking you for the rest, for the sleep, for taking care of it. It's ready now. Ready for the day, ready for movement, ready for life. But you're still not fully awake. Still hovering. Still in the beautiful space between. Stay here a little longer, just a little longer. Savor it, this peace, this calm, this perfect presence. Your eyes flutter, not opening yet, just moving, preparing. The lids are heavy. That's okay. Let them be heavy. When they're ready to open, they will. Trust them. Trust your body. It knows when. You take another deep breath. Even deeper this time, filling your lungs completely. Holding, then releasing. Slowly, completely, emptying. Ah. Yes, that's good. That's cleansing. That's energizing. You're almost ready to open your eyes, almost ready to fully wake, almost ready to begin the day. But not quite, not yet. Just a moment longer, just one more moment in this perfect peace. And now, dear traveler, I must leave you here, in this perfect space. This threshold, this moment between sleeping and waking. You've journeyed far tonight. You've learned much. You've rested deeply. You've healed profoundly. When you wake and you wake when you're ready, you'll be different. Changed, transformed, rested, peaceful, whole. Remember the peaceful kingdom. Remember the guardians, remember the lessons, remember who you truly are, and remember this most of all, you are worthy of rest, always, forever, without question. Sleep well now, or wake gently, whatever you need, whatever your body chooses, trust it, trust yourself, trust the process. You are safe, you are loved, you are enough. Good night, dear friend, or good night, dear friend, or good night, dear friend. Whichever it is when you read this. Rest, wake, live, love, be. You are peace itself. You are rest itself. You are perfect just as you are. The end.